do it.
Ready?
The Wasatch Wasps are swarming on 94.5 The Peak. Now let's get back to the action with Ty and Ty.
That's right. You're listening to 94.5 The Peak. The captains are approaching midfield. Braxton Turner will be the captain this evening for Wasatch High School. And Tyler, this has been the Dairy King pregame show. A little bit different. Haven't got into a ton of football here in the pregame show with the unusual circumstances that are going on. So we want to take just a minute and get into some keys to the game, brought to you by the Napa Auto Parts, your local Napa store there in Heber Valley, a proud supporter of Wasatch High School athletics. And Tyler, I'm just going to throw it over to you right away. What are some keys you think Wasatch needs to have to get a victory here this evening?
You know, Tyler, I was looking at just different stats, and Coach Craig already mentioned the interceptions for Provo. And oftentimes when I think Wasatch is a better team this year, but Provo does have size. But I think turnovers, are always a big deal, and we kind of cycle through, I think, sometimes our keys to the game. But Wasatch this year has only lost 3 fumbles and 1 interception, so only 4 turnovers this year. When you only turn the ball over 4 times in 6 games, you're going to be close to 5-1. And so I think if they play clean again offensively tonight and just complete passes, take care of the ball, I think they're going to be okay.
Well, Tyler, my unsung heroes are out tonight for Wasatch. Some names that you wouldn't normally recognize. Riley Davis, starter on defense, is down at the corner position. Tyler Carl, a stellar linebacker, is not dressed. He's not playing tonight. Mason Peterson is out with a knee injury, and he's been a major force on the defensive line. I think Wasatch needs to have some secondary players step up in order to get the win. Let's go ahead and jump into our over-under real quick here, if we might be able to do that as both teams approach the field. Wasatch is set to receive. Craig, you're over-under. You've done some research here.
Oh, yeah. So, talking with Coach Chambers and looking at it, Provo High is going to have a hard time, I think, dealing with the pass rush of Wasatch. So I believe that to win this game, Wasatch is going to have to get 3 or more sacks.
Mason Peterson's been in the backfield there, so that'll be a loss to see who he can fill in there at that defensive line position. Wasatch has been good as far as their depth defensively, so we'll see how that goes. Tyler, I want to go over 2 rushing touchdowns tonight for Wasatch. They didn't have any. Put 7 touchdowns on the board last week, and not a single one was rushing. Tonight I'm going to go 2 or more rushing touchdowns for the Wasps.
Tyler, I think it's an interesting, you talked about how the offensive line is beat up for Provo, but Wasatch's linebackers and defensive line are beat up. I think Provo surprises us a little bit and scores over their average for the season, which is 14. So I think they're going to go over 14.
Provo enters the game at 2-3, Wasatch at 5-1. The kick sends Jackson Nilsson back into the end zone for a touchback, and we are underway. Wasatch will take it out at the 20-yard line. The Wasps getting some respect in the RPI rankings this year as they come in this week at number 4, having a very nice season ahead of them. Salem stands at number 1. Brighton High School, Salem's at 5-0. Brighton is at number 2, 6-0. And then Orem is ahead at 3-2. Orem's played a pretty tough schedule, and so they jumped over Wasatch last week. And then Wasatch checks in at number 4.
Yeah, too bad. Brighton Skyline were set to face off this week. Tie 6-2, both teams undefeated, unable to play because of the COVID circumstances.
Edwards into the backfield with Cook. There's your snap. Going to throw left immediately to Kalama. It's pass complete and out to the 29-yard line. Dives Kalama before he's brought down. That's a quick 9 yards for Wasatch and a quick completion between Edwards and Kalama.
3-4 cover 2 or 2 high safeties is what Provo has. That's their base defense. And they're given a lot of space on the outside. We're able to complete the pass early to Kalama. They're going to. You got to assume they're going to try to play a little bit off of him, and that's what Wasatch could maybe take advantage of today.
Cook on the dive on the handoff gets 2 yards, and that's the first down of the ball game for Wasatch. Already on the ball and snapping it. Edwards wants to go deep. Now he checks down, looking for Nelson across the middle. Pass is complete at the 43-yard line, and that will be enough for another first down for Wasatch.
So a couple of things early on, Ty. You can go coverage and let AD try to read the defense, but only rushing 3 guys. AD had plenty of time on that play to just pick apart and try to find where he wanted to throw, and we found that when AD has time, he's able to pick apart defenses.
Boy, this Wasatch offense is moving. Already on first down, Cook dives ahead for 6 yards out to the 49-yard line of Wasatch, and the Wasps are back on the ball. There's a snap, play action to Cook, moving left. Edwards wants it deep down the right side. Nelson cut it off, though, and nobody's going to be there. Ball hits at the 10, and Nelson cut out at the 35. That one's incomplete.
Yeah, that was interesting. He had plenty of time, and it looked like before he threw it, Nelson had settled on that play. Josh Sanders is going to come into the game for Jackson Nilsson.
So a quick 3rd and 4 for Wasatch. Ball's at their own 49-yard line. 2 receivers left. There's your snap. Hand off to Cook. He's going to bounce it outside. He's at the sticks. He's got it across the 45, the 40 of Provo, and out of bounds. goes Cook at the 38-yard line. That'll be a big gain of 13 yards as the Wasps move the chains one more time. Their third Wasatch Physical Therapy first down of the opening drive. Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine is your rehabilitation specialist dedicated to your total recovery. Call Dan Ivey at Wasatch Physical Therapy. Cook on first down. Give him another 13, Tyler, as he's now down to the 24-yard line on that rush.
Yeah, against a three-man front, Ty, you should be able to run outside zone, and that was what the big gain was for Chris Cook. He's not going to go swing right.
Provo having a hard time catching their breath. Edwards flushed out right on the pocket on this 1st and 10. Throwing for the end zone towards Saunders. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Will give us a chance to reset and catch our own breath as Josh is deep by the track recovering that ball.
Yeah, first non-positive play on first down.
Timeout's going to be called by Provo as they can sense it, having a hard time catching their breath, and they're going to take a timeout as well and try to reset. As we come back, Wasatch has 2nd and 10. The ball is on Provo's 24-yard line. We'll be back right after this.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Back Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Back Flooring and Paints.
Football's back.
Football! The Wasatch Wasps are swarming on 94.5 The Peak. Now let's get back to the action with Ty and Ty.
That's right, we're back at Provo High School. The Wasps are on the move. They have the opening drive down at the 24-yard line of Provo. 2nd and 10 coming up for Wasatch. 10:39 on the clock here in the first quarter. Celia Akana's checked into the game into the backfield. There's your snap to Edwards. Play action to Akana. Throws out complete to Kalama, who breaks a tackle. Tiptoes the sidelines, out of bounds, or else he would have had a touchdown there. They're going to mark him out inside the 20 at the 19-yard line as the Wasps enter the CarQuest Auto Parts red zone.
And Tyler, I don't necessarily mind. I like the experiment with Provo. Wasatch scored on a lot of big plays last week against Maple Mountain. So make Wasatch, kind of march your way down the field, right? Go 10, 9-play, 11-play drives and see if they just make mistakes. And just right there, Ty, now we got a flag down as well, but you try to get greedy with Kalama on the side, and now you got a third down. You get a stop here on third down, you force a field goal. That's a win for Provo in this game.
Yeah, on third down, Wasatch wants to go to the left corner of the end zone on a fade to Kalama, which was very successful last week. It was a pre-snap decision that was made by Edwards there, and the ball wasn't really close. Kalama wasn't able to get separation, but Tyler will check the flag and see. Looks like it's going to be on Wasatch.
Illegal man downfield is what they're going to call, Tyler. And that's an interesting one for Coach Chambers early on in this game. Do you take a 5-yard penalty that would have been third down?
Well, it does push Wasatch back kind of to their max field goal range, but I think Coach Chambers is maybe going to change his mind here and say, I would take the stop on third.
Yeah, I would take the third down here, to be honest, Ty, just because I think Wasatch has proven. Craig in the break said they're averaging 7 yards a pop.
So the officials stop and go over and discuss. They're going to decline it and give those 5 yards back. So back to 3rd and 4 we will go with 10-12 on the clock here in the first quarter, and that'll bring the field goal unit.
Oh, that was fourth. That was third down, Ty. Yeah. You're right, because he had 2 incompletions, so I was down off. So there you go, Ty. If you make Wasatch go 12, 13-play drives, can Wasatch do it without making a mistake? And for my opinion, Ty, you put a freshman on the field to kick a field goal early on in this game. That's a win for Provo.
This will be a 40-yard field goal attempt. And a little action beforehand, so this kick will be not counted. It was a beauty. Southam drove it right through the uprights. But that's going to be on Provo, Tyler. Provo jumped off sides, and so that'll give them a first down. And Wasatch will get to move the chains again.
Oh, Tyler, if you're Coach Chambers, go get a Diet Coke, because, man, that's just a tough break. You got exactly what you wanted, even with the made field goal. That's a win for Provo, and now you put them right back out onto the field and let them have a fresh set of downs.
1st and 10. I had the yardage wrong there on the 13 now. Edwards looking left, wants to throw right. Cuts it down to Kalama all alone. He's at the 5. Can he make it? Yes, Jaron Kalama into the end zone on a dive. Touchdown by the right pylon, and the Wasps take an early 6-0 lead on an opening 80-yard drive that took 1 minute and 58 seconds off the clock. And Kalama puts his 5th touchdown on the board in as many quarters. He's got 5 touchdowns in 4 quarters and 2 minutes over the last couple games. So Jaron Kalama and Edwards continue to have a nice connection.
And Ty, if you're Coach Roberts, in my opinion, you're sitting down with AD and saying, hey, they are giving us the underneath routes. Just get the easy pitching catches. Let's have a lot of fun throwing a lot of passes underneath. And don't get greedy, because when they went greedy that drive, they had 3 incompletions. All of them were fade routes on the outside. Just stay content with the underneath routes.
Wasatch leads 7-0 with 10 minutes left in the first quarter.
The Dairy King, home of the train, serving the best food with friends and family in the Valley. Winner of Best of State for 17 years. Dairy King is proud to support Wasatch High School football. Come in before, during, or after the game to enjoy their burgers, fries, shakes, and more. The Dairy King, where their family has been serving your family for 73 years and counting.
If you taught your kids how to change engine oil before you taught them how to ride a bike, then CarQuest Auto Parts is for you. If you would never lend a buddy your wobble sockets because, well, he really should have his own, then CarQuest is for you. If you have more jack stands than your wife has shoes, then CarQuest is for you. CarQuest is for those who really know and care about their car. With well over 500,000 available parts and accessories, CarQuest is serious auto parts.
Stop by CarQuest at 434 North Main Street in Heber City.
This is football. Football! Let's play, fellas!
Now, back to the action for more Wasatch Wasp Sports with Tyler Moss and Tyler Baird on 94.5 The Peak.
Tyler, as we were away at break, I was tweeting out updates, and if you don't follow us on Twitter, you can get in-game updates live as they happen. Follow us, Ty and Ty, or the handle is at WHS Sportsnet. While I was looking down, there was a penalty flag before the kick, and as I looked up, was Wasatch trying an onside kick?
Yeah,
there?
they went middle dribble there, and it was a perfect middle dribble. Provo only has 4 guys on their front line of their kick return, and it was going to be easily recovered for Wasatch. Unfortunately, one of the players went ahead of the kicker and was offsides before the ball was kicked.
So Rouser will kick a squib out of bounds at about the 25-yard line on the second attempt. That'll be a penalty on Wasatch, and will give the Bulldogs good starting field position for their opening drive.
Yeah, interesting there. We've seen Rouser be very, very consistent on his kickoffs. Kind of came off the side of his foot, goes out of bounds at the 30. So they will get the ball on their own 35-yard line. Provo will to start their first drive. 10:02 to play on the Doria's Dental scoreboard. Wasatch already up 7-0 after an impressive first drive. Oh, get it on the 40. Is that new? I thought you got it on the 35 normally.
No, they've done the 40 in high school usually. I think at the upper levels it's the 35.
Okay.
Welsh will come out at quarterback for the Bulldogs. Again, stats are not good to him this year. 1 touchdown to 8 interceptions. He'll start on the handoff, running off to the right side. It'll be a pickup of 3 yards before a bunch of Wasatch players are able to cut him down.
Colby Clough gets his first start of the night at the linebacker position. Provo likes to run the spread with running back power and QB counter. So they're going to be pulling a lot of linemen. They try to overload one side or the other by pulling a lineman, which there's some benefits if you can run it well, but it's also easy to read as a linebacker to where the ball's going by reading linemen.
Welsh in the backfield with Harward again. 2 receivers left, 1 right. They're going to throw over to Magleby to the right, complete at the 50. Hit right at the sticks, dives forward for 2 more to the Wasatch 48, and that will be a first down for the Bulldogs. First throw from Welsh is complete to Magleby, and it'll go for a pickup of 9 yards.
Yeah, first look there attacking La Kalama, the freshman. He also getting his first start of his high school career with Riley Davis out, still with that knee injury. Other starters for Wasatch, Mason Hume starting at defensive end along with Celia Kana.
Snap to Welsh, going to throw that same play, complete again to Magleby, and it'll go for about 7 yards this time.
A little bit of Wasatch's own medicine, Ty. These are just RPOs, and they're giving a lot of space to Magleby here on the boundary. And so far, doing a good job of reading where the space is and just attacking it.
Magleby's a good-looking athlete out there, 6'1", just below 200 pounds at that receiver position. That's a tall order for La Kalama, the freshman. Provo into Wasatch territory quickly. Ball at the 41-yard line, 2nd and 2. There's your snap. It's quarterback run off the right side. Gabler comes up and makes the hit, but he's able to bounce off and dive for about 3 more yards. Welsh got a little lost in the backfield, but there was no Wasatch player there to finish it off, and he was able to dive forward for the first down.
Yeah, Coach Coburn not happy. That's, again, Wasatch read it correctly. On that QB counter, they're actually pulling 2 linemen, and Scott Gabler did a good job of getting right up in there to make that play. I wasn't able to wrap up, but what's surprising to me, Ty, was the lack of pursuit. It was just, there didn't seem to be a lot of Wasatch guys coming up on the quarterback.
The only other one that was there was Hume, who was engaged and couldn't get away from the offensive lineman. And the quarterback just kind of surprisingly saw he had no one else to beat and just slipped forward. Welsh settles the Bulldogs at the 38. There's your snap, looking left. Now he has to climb up as Akana's in the backfield quickly, throwing towards Kalama, incomplete, out of bounds. As Jaron Kalama was in coverage deep, that pass falls incomplete at the 5-yard line. Pass intended for Rosales.
Well, Tyler, I tell you what, that was going back to what Craig said about their offensive line being broken up. I thought that was a screen. Wasatch's defensive line was in so quickly on Welsh on that play. Welsh did a good job of stepping up into the pocket to make something out of that play, but Wasatch's defensive line was very quickly into the backfield on that play.
2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs, who are at the Wasatch 38-yard line. 8 minutes on the clock. Wasatch is leading 7-0. Welsh in the backfield with Harward. Wasatch showing some pressure from Gabler on the left side. Here it comes. Into the backfield goes Turner, who has the big hit and lowers Harward. And I think the ball popped loose, but Harward is back on it. Braxton Turner 5 yards deep as Harward gets the ball. And he'll get the tackle for a loss and the forced fumble. Provo maintains possession.
That's like Clowney of South Carolina. Ty wasn't as big a hit, but he was in there so quickly. And what you can do against this power and counter is if you can beat the pullers into the backfield, it's just really tough against the blitz. And with how fast Wasatch is on their blitzes, they don't have Tyler Carl, but Scott Gabler is very quick as well on those blitzes. And that time, Braxton Turner, shooting the gap, was able to get into the backfield very quickly.
3rd and 15 for the Bulldogs. Welsh on a 3-step drop, throws across the middle. Got a man open, complete, just shy of the sticks. Going to be about the 28-yard line. They needed the 28. We'll see where they mark it. They're going to say it was enough. First down, Provo, right at the 28-yard line.
Wasatch going a lot of cover 3, cover 1 early on in this game with Jaron Kalama playing deep. And that time, the low safeties didn't follow the seam route probably as far as they should have, and then Kalama was a little bit late coming up on the seam. Good ball again by Welsh.
1st and 10, ball at the 28, under 7 minutes on the clock now here in the first quarter. Welsh in the backfield. 1-step drop, turns right, throws complete, no, incomplete to Magleby. Only one over there, hit his hands, and he turned upfield before he caught it. Dropped it, and he had some space to run. Law had given him about 5 yards of separation after the pass was going to be complete about 7 yards down the field.
Wasatch had gotten 0 high safeties tied. Jaron Kalam was playing man over on the other side of the field. So it was the right play call. Another good read from Welsh just to drop pass. That ball actually could have gone to the house.
Wasatch fortunate on that one. Magleby took his eyes off the ball. 2nd and 10 at the 28. Welsh has looked sharp so far, Tyler. He throws a good ball for Provo. He's going to swing it out to the left side to Harward. Harvard's got to beat him, man. He's across the 25, across the 20. Breaks a tackle across the 10, into the end zone. Touchdown, Provo, as Harward does the dirty work himself, breaking tackles down the left sideline. Touchdown, Provo, who has a nice response to Wasatch and are an extra point away from tying this one up.
Yeah, Welsh impressive on that drive, Ty. Very good at getting the ball out of his hands. That time they sent Harward in motion, and no guys went out with Harward. And so at that point, you either got to have a safety come up or the DB has to beat a block on the outside. Wasatch wasn't able to beat the block on the outside. Good blocking from the receivers. And then Harward beat the safety that came up to make the play. And then he shows a little bit of speed and now runs Wasatch's defense.
The extra point is up and good, and we're all knotted up here at 7 at Provo High School. 6:38 left in the first quarter. Wasatch will receive after the break.
If you ever gave your wife an impact wrench for her birthday, then CarQuest Auto Parts is for you. If you taught your kids how to change engine oil before you taught them how to ride a bike, then CarQuest is for you. CarQuest is for those who really know and care about their car. CarQuest is serious auto parts.
CarQuest Auto Parts is independently owned and operated, proudly serving Heber City at 434 North Main and Camas at 235 South Main. Roll into CarQuest Auto Parts and roll on.
The Bluths at Physical at the Fit Stop have been providing physical therapy to the Heber Valley for over 45 years. During this time is no exception. They are currently seeing patients in their clinic, following all local and federal health guidelines. In addition, they're excited to now be offering telehealth visits. If you've needed PT during COVID-19, they can help. Call the office today to schedule an appointment. Physical at the Fit Stop, 435-654-5607. Spelled different because they are different.
This is football. Football!
to the action for more Wasatch Wasp Sports with Tyler Moss and Tyler Baird on 94.5 The Peak.
The kick is going to be returned by Jackson Nilsson, who's got a little space on the left sideline, but tiptoes out of bounds as he approaches the 25. Had a little seam, but wasn't able to keep the feet in bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 for Wasatch, just across the 25.
Tyler, 2 possessions and already 2 trips into the CarQuest Auto red zone. Roll into CarQuest Auto Parts and roll on. CarQuest Auto Parts is independently owned and operated, proudly serving Heber, 434 North Main, and Camas, 235 South Main.
2 receivers left, 2 receivers right for Wasatch. Cook in the backfield. Edwards standing on the right side of Cook. Calls for the snap. There it is. It's a good one. Quick screen out to Risto. Complete. Makes a move. Makes the first man miss and dives forward to the 33-yard line. Spencer Risto with a little bit of shake and bake there to dive forward. Good healthy gain on first down.
Yeah, 5-yard gain there. I think if he had gone outside, he maybe have had another yard or 2. Good drop blocking there by Cooper Scott on the outside.
3 receivers right this time. There's your snap. It'll be a handoff to Cook, who bounces right. Now cuts it back up the middle across the 35. Out to the 36-yard line. And Chris has got himself a first down for Wasatch. They're going to give him the 32, which is a first.
Yeah, that looked a little bit closer to me.
37, excuse me, Tyler. Not the 32, 37. Another handoff to Cook on first down. Cook is going to be gobbled up and taken down to the 38. Big defensive lineman Havea of Provo dives on top of Cook.
Yeah, Havea gets the credit there, Tyler, but I need to look at my Laglima Lesa is who made a nice play on that one.
Wasatch wants to go option, but you're going to have a hold, it looks like, as the penalty flag comes in, as Cook is tossed down at the 46-yard line. That would be a gain of 8 yards. We'll check the penalty at the feet of the offensive lineman of Wasatch.
Yeah, Wasatch had success with that play last week. It's a little speed option where Darius can run inside or toss it outside to the running back. They had a lot of success with Celia Kana running that play last week. They come back to it early, and Provo did a good job of lengthening out that play. And whenever you have a play lengthening out, that's when you can get those holding calls, and Wasatch gets caught. They're now 2nd and long.
Yeah, back him up to 2nd and 21 after the holding penalty. 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Nelson's alone on the right. Gilman inside. Scott and Kalama are your 3 receivers out to the left. Chris Cook's going to wander over to the right hip of Edwards. There's a snap, play action to Cook. Edwards wants Jackson Nilsson one-on-one, overthrows him by about 5 yards. Incomplete at the 35 of Provo. Jackson had a step, but Edwards just put a little too much air under it.
Yeah, and I think they're going to see that on film, Tyler, that they didn't have a high safety, and so Jackson can actually bend that a little bit to the inside, and rather than putting air underneath it, Darius can throw that more on a line, a little bit more high percentage throw, and be able to complete that to Nelson, more of a post look.
3rd and a mile, 3rd and 21. Wasatch wants the bubble screen to Kalama. They've got it, but he's got a lot of work to do. Breaks his first tackle, but can't break the second. Cut down at the 37-yard line, which is the original line of scrimmage. And that'll bring the kicking team out onto the field for Wasatch to punt it back over to the Bulldogs.
Another great play by Lagalima Lesa, 6'2" junior, 220 pounds. He's listed as an outside linebacker, running back. He's been playing a little bit of defensive end as well. He made 2 nice plays on that possession.
Aiden Rouser will do the kicking again this evening for Wasatch from the punt position. Aiden calls for the snap. It's a low one, but he handles it okay. Gets away a beautiful kick, a high spiral, pushing Provo back to the 12. Ball is caught and got a little room to return here across the 20, running left out to the 30, and cut down by Parker North and Jake Gilman, who make the tackle at the 31-yard line. But give credit to Aiden Rouser, who got away a beautiful kick after a tough snap.
This pause on the action tie is brought to you by Mirror Lake Station up in Camas. New owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season and try one of their best in-state donuts up in Camas.
Yeah, Ty, quick game recap here. Wasatch took the opening drive 80 yards down the field. Cashed in on a 13-yard touchdown pass between who else? Edwards to Jaron Kalama. But Provo scored quickly, coming back down the other way, 60-yard drive, capped by a 28-yard touchdown pass themselves. On first down, Harvard's going to rush off to the left side, and he'll have 11 yards before Bridger Johnson and Colby Clough are able to come over and make the tackle. But it'll be another Provo first down already out across the
Tyler,
40.
we've talked about Riley Davis being out and Mason Peterson and Tyler Carl. I mean, you're basically losing a Darius Edwards on this defense when you lose Tyler Carl. And so I'm interested to see how Colby Clough and how the rest of this defense handles not having their quarterback on defense.
3 receivers out wide to the right side for Provo, 1 to the left. Same formation Wasatch runs frequently. Welsh in the backfield calls for the snap. He's looking right, throwing right, no pumps, drops it down. Bridger Johnson with the pressure, and Bridger cuts him down after a pickup of only about 3. Bridger doing a good job of staying home there as the other big boys, Bowen and Gabler, were able to force Welsh up in the pocket.
Yeah, good job there from Bridger Johnson. Didn't have a beat on the right tackle, wasn't able to get into the quarterback, but did a good job of keeping his eyes down or upfield and saw the quarterback trying to escape up the middle and made a nice play.
2nd and 8 is the down and distance. Ball's at the 44-yard line of Provo. There's your snap to Welsh, throwing left. Pass is complete at the 47. Move is made out of bounds at the 49-yard line of Wasatch.
I think it's going to be about a yard short. Oh, no, so they stepped out of bounds.
Incomplete. Well, I don't know, Tyler. They've got him back all the way at the 48 of Provo.
Yeah, interesting.
So complete, but he must have stepped out of bounds when he tried to make the turn. That's the far side of the field away from us, kind of a tough view. After the mark, it's going to be 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs. Ball's just on the 48-yard line of Provo, floating with midfield.
Provo perfect on 3rd downs in today's game. Wasatch going that zero-high safety look, bringing up pressure.
Welsh, quick throw, complete, just an easy 5-yard out. A flag does come down, but right now Provo's got enough for the first down as the ball is out of bounds at the 45-yard line of Wasatch.
Man, if that's a hold, Tyler, on Provo, again, frustrating because that ball was out so quick, but Wasatch brought a lot of guys and didn't get any guys in there. Ooh, illegal man downfield
on that throw.
Quick
wow. That's a tough penalty for Provo, a fortunate one for Wasatch. That ball was out in probably less than a second, Tyler, when it got back to
I'm pretty sure
Welsh.
they adjusted the rule, Tyler, so you used to have 3 yards that your lineman could be downfield. I think they adjusted that to 2 this year. And we've seen Wasatch get called for it numerous times, having guys downfield.
3rd and 9 after the penalty. Ball's back at the 43-yard line of Provo. 3 minutes left in the first quarter, all tied up at 7. Wasatch showing some pressure. Now Welsh is flushed out to the right, rolling right, looking for Magleby. Thrown, it's complete across the middle, right at the sticks. Going to be very, very close. The officials have him at the 48, and that's what they needed. And that's going to be a first down for Provo. Provo again getting just enough. Their second time of hitting 3rd and long right at the sticks.
Well, if there's something you can maybe put a label on Provo athletics in general, Tyler, it's scrappy. Their baseball team's a scrappy group. Provo's basketball teams have been scrappy. And I see that right now with this football team. They're just figuring out a way to keep the chains moving, which is just keeping Wasatch's offense off the field at this point, which is what you need against a little bit beat-up defense that you have and a hot offense.
Welsh, one-step drop, quick slant, complete to Magleby on the left side. Cut down by Wardle, but it's another 12 yards and another Provo first down. Just such soft coverage from Wasatch right now that these are just easy routes, and Welsh is putting it right on the money. The receivers aren't having to slow down at all, catching it right in stride, and they're moving the ball down the field nicely.
There's 2 different philosophies. You don't want to give up the big play, and a lot of analytics say that the big play is what helps lead you to wins. So you give up these short ones, and again, you just hope for mistakes by the other team. Right now, Provo's doing a good job of not making those mistakes.
Provo in a wildcat formation, a direct snap to Harward, and he's going to lose 5 yards. And Celia Akana, along with Gabler and Mason Hume, escort him to the ground. Cole Magnuson also in there a little bit on that one.
Yeah, Braxton Turner, just everybody on that defensive line was there. And I was never a Wildcat fan, Tyler, as an offensive coordinator, and I don't know if I necessarily like it at that point either. Welsh is on a roll. Just keep things rolling, right? Just keep things rolling. Now, a lot of times coordinators will put a play in like that just to see how the defense responds to the Wildcat, and so, but you put yourself in a 2nd and 12.
Welsh standing at the 45-yard line of Provo, snap and a direct handoff to Harward this time, and he'll be back to the original line of scrimmage and then brought down there by a bunch of Wasatch players. Gabler's been flying all over the field. He's in there again.
And Tyler, talking to Coach Coburn and Coach Akana, their game plan was to shut down the run. You didn't want, and Craig talked about it, the run game as what has been probably the positive of this Provo offense. And you can't say that they've been gouged by Provo's run game yet. It's been Welsh, and Welsh been beating him with the arm. And at this point, Tyler, with a quarterback that has 8 interceptions to 1 touchdown, I think that's how I do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Let the quarterback, see if the quarterback can beat you with his arm. They're not beating you with the run, and see if he can keep this up.
3rd and 10. There's a snap to Welsh, looking right, wants to throw left, but he's got pressure coming. Spikes it into the turf before he can really settle his feet. Incomplete. 4th and 10. Coming up, the ball's at the 37-yard line. That awkward distance. This is a long field goal, probably too long but not one you want to be punting from. Let's see what Provo decides to do.
So how Provo was able to get the first down on their last third down and long was they allowed Welsh to get outside, and then Welsh created something with his legs. That time, Wasatch's defensive end stayed outside, and Welsh looked to escape to the outside, but wasn't able to because of the discipline of the defensive ends for Wasatch.
Provo will go for it. They're going to send 2 receivers out to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Harward in the backfield with Welsh. 2 safeties back for Wasatch. Seam route across the middle, incomplete, nearly intercepted by Kalama. Hit right at his feet. And Provo will turn it over on downs. A nice job from the Wasatch defense to stand when Tyler, it looked like Welsh had a little rhythm rolling.
Well, and how about both sides, Ty? Wasatch looked unstoppable on their first possession. Were able to march all the way down the field with ease. And then Wasatch comes out and has to punt on their second possession, and now Wasatch's defense forces a 4-and-out.
Wasatch will send the offense back out onto the field. Only score in this evening's game has been a touchdown pass from Edwards to Kalama. That touchdown brought to you by Edward Jones. To win in sports, you must first focus on your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Jared Jensen, your Edward Jones financial advisor, can help. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC. Pass is swung out and complete to Cook at the 40-yard line. Cook's dragged down after a pickup of 5 yards just across the 40.
Good job for Darius on that one, Ty, where he was able to keep his eyes downfield. He felt the pressure, knew where his check down guy was able to get to the check down to avoid the sack.
Trips left, 1 receiver right. Cook in the backfield with Edwards again. It's going to be a handoff to Cook. He's right up the middle across the 45, spins, cut down at the 46, 1 yard shy of the sticks. 3rd and 1. See if Wasatch wants to go fast again here. And they do. They're up on the ball. Edwards got the play call he wants. Oh, they gave him the first down, Ty, out of the 47. So 1st and 10. Cook's hit as he takes the handoff, bounces off, and now he's got a seam across midfield, across the 45, and tripped up. Be a pickup of 12 after Cook was hit a couple yards in the backfield and then burst up the middle and was able to get a big gain. 1st and 10. Quick swing now out, complete to Jackson Nelson. Nelson's cut down at the 40-yard line. I saw what looked like a flag come out, Tyler. Are my eyes deceiving me there?
I thought I saw a flag as well. There is a flag. I think it's going to be either too many guys on the field for Provo or an offsides call, as one guy was trying to get off the field and it looked like he crossed the neutral zone. So I think it's going to be a 5-yard penalty on Provo unless they wave the flag off. Nope, so it's going to be too many guys on the field.
So Wasatch will take the 5, which will put him down at the 35-yard line of Provo. And man, when Wasatch gets moving fast here, Tyler, it's just so hard for the defense.
What is going on, Ty? That was a 5-yard penalty, and they gave him 7 yards.
Well, our chain gang's a little confused, too. They've got it 2nd down. It's 1st again. Edwards wants to throw, looking for Kalama into the end zone. In and out of the hands, batted out. Good defensive play as Jaron had a chance at it, but the defense came and swatted it loose.
And that's Magleby again, Ty, and this is something that Wasatch has a lot more depth than Provo does. Magleby, very active on the offensive side, and then makes a great play on the defensive side. How long is he going to be able to keep running with Kalama on that post route?
Should be 2nd and 5 right now, but we've got it at 2nd and 3 after the highly unusual 7-yard offside penalty call.
Wasatch is playing fast.
There we go.
Yeah, so the Wasatch just lost 2 yards on that play.
Poor Chains, they got it figured out. It took a play, though. The Chains have moved back. So 2nd and 5, ball is at the 37-yard line of Provo. 5 seconds on the clock. Wasatch is on the ball, ready to roll. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Edwards calls for the snap. A little high. He handles it and gives it to Cook, who trips and goes down right at the line of scrimmage. And that'll be how the first quarter comes to a close. All tied up at 7. Wasatch on the move. 3rd and 5 coming up as we begin the second quarter. Well, after the end of the first quarter, Wasatch and Provo are all tied up 7-7. Wasatch with the ball at the 37-yard line of Provo to begin the second quarter of play. 3rd and 5. The Wasps are going to put twins right, twins left. Nelson and Gilman to the right. Kalama and Scott to the left. There's your snap. It's going to be a handoff to Cook, running up the middle. He's down to the 33-yard line, which will come up about a yard shy of the sticks, and Wasatch is going to quickly get on the ball and go for it.
Yeah, and that's a four down territory type play. Ty, get half of it on 3rd down, which you get a little bit more than that. Now you only have a yard to go.
Back on the ball goes the Wasps on 4th and 1. No doubt they're going for it here. There's your snap, a little high. It's an option. Cook's got a little work to do, but he's got it. 1st down and more. He's across the 20. Pushed out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Chris Cook with the big gainer. Give him about 18 yards on the carry, and Wasatch has another Wasatch Physical Therapy first down, brought to you by Dan Ivey and the Wasatch Physical Therapy Sports Medicine team.
Tyler, I like that they've gotten Cook going early on in this game. Already 11 rushes for 60 yards.
3 receivers left now. There's your snap. Edwards looking left to throw. Now right, now left, checking down, gets rid of it across the middle. Complete. Diving at the end zone, into the end zone. Touchdown, Wasatch. Flag down on the field. That was complete to Cooper Scott, who did a great job getting into the end zone. Long throw, though, from Edwards, and usually that means you've got some kind of holding penalty with that much time in the pocket.
Well,
Brady Harding thinks it's a touchdown, and it is. Wasatch celebrating.
So
Not sure what the penalty is.
It looked like they held up holding on the defense. So that, I don't know what that call is. If it's holding on the defense, it may have been an illegal hands to the face. I know that's a call that can be called sometimes on the defensive line. But either way, touchdown Wasatch. Cooper Scott, I believe that's his first touchdown on the season. Second touchdown on the season for Cooper Scott. Great protection once again from the offensive line. Little crossing route to Cooper. Almost a little bit late. The middle linebacker for Provo almost able to get that one.
That was a great effort from Cooper. Tyler diving into the end zone. Southam's going to come onto the field to attempt the extra point. Urker onto the field to hold.
9 touchdown passes now for Adarius Edwards in his last 6 quarters.
Yeah, 5 and change even. Southam has the extra point blocked. Provo got in there quickly, and that one never had a chance. Extra point is blocked. 7-13 is our score. Wasatch in front.
Bluths at Physical at the Fit Stop have been providing physical therapy to the Heber Valley for over 45 years. During this time is no exception. They are currently seeing patients in their clinic, following all local and federal health guidelines. In addition, they're excited to now be offering telehealth visits. If you've needed PT during COVID-19, they can help. Call the office today to schedule an appointment. Physical at the Fit Stop, 435-654-5607. Spelled different because they are different.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental grill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
Football's back. Football.
The Wasatch Wasps are swarming on 94.5 The Peak. Now let's get back to the action with Ty and Ty.
Aiden Rouser approaches the ball on the kick. It is up and out of the end zone. Touchback. That might have been his best kick of the season.
Yeah,
very deep into the end zone.
Yeah, he didn't do so great on his first kick, and he left no doubt on that one, way into the end zone. Wasatch comes out after stopping Provo on their last possession, score 13-7 as we get started here in the second quarter. Spencer Risto in at the DB position on the right-hand side for River Wardle, while Kalama still at DB on the left-hand side.
Snap to Welsh is a tough one. Gets the handoff, though, to Harward, Harward's hit hard, but not until he's up the field for about 14 yards. That's Gilman and Kalama in there on the hit. But Harward running hard there. That was a big pop. Probably heard it over the microphone.
Yeah, and Coach Coburn not happy. That's just a simple running back power like we talked about. They're going to pull the left guard to the right-hand side, and the running back's just going to be patient and wait for that hole to open up, and not a lot of fill from the linebackers on that last one.
Wasatch leading 13-7. 2 touchdown passes in the game for Edwards already. Another handoff to Harward running right. This time he's got 5 more out to the 40-yard line. Maybe give him 6 as he rolls forward. Harward, a speedy, powerful runner so far for the Bulldogs. And Ty, we talked on the way down about this. That a little surprised that he was the man that was leading the way as sophomore as Harward. Havea, as senior, was kind of their guy over the last couple years. And we haven't even seen Havea in the backfield yet.
Yeah, he's going to come into the game right now. Harvard's going to take a seat. Nice little change up on that last play. Instead of an inside power, they ran outside power where the guard wraps around to the outside. Havea's going to move up next to the quarterback here.
They're going to give it to him. Havea on a dive. He's out near the sticks, cut down after 4 yards. It'll be enough for a first down. That'll move the chains.
Yeah, and this isn't making Coach Coburn or Coach Akana happy. 3 straight runs for Provo result in 2 Wasatch physical therapy first downs.
Again, if you're just joining us, didn't hear the Dairy King pregame show, Wasatch has a few starters out on the defensive side of things. Mason Peterson out with a knee injury, Riley Davis out with a knee injury, and Tyler Carl out with a shoulder injury. There's your snap to Welsh, running right on a quarterback draw. He's got midfield, he's got the 40, he's got the 30, he's across the 25, pushed out of bounds near the 20-yard line. A lot of speed from Welsh there and a lot of space on the right side. The misdirection on the RPO got Wasatch confused, and Welsh has a big gain into Wasatch territory.
That's exactly right, Ty. You run 3 straight powers, and then you run QB counter where there's a little fake to the running back, and then you see Welsh's speed along the outside. Probably a sign that Wasatch has their eyes in the backfield instead of on the lineman up front. No Wasatch defenders on that right side. Welsh scampers for their biggest gain of the day.
It's out at the 23-yard line of Wasatch. Hand off to Harward, bouncing right, now back up the middle. He's cut down after a pickup of only 1 yard. The Wasatch defensive line doing a much better job on that one, getting in there. Braxton Turner leading the way.
Yeah, and what you need to see, Tyler, is different guys besides Braxton being able to stuff the run, just to preserve Braxton until later on in this game.
Well, and Hagen Brisk also in there right now. Those are 2 guys they'd like to not have go both ways if they can help it. Celia Khan on the D-line at the moment, and Mason Hume. Those are your 4 down linemen right now.
Wasatch has played a little bit tighter coverage on the outside, which is probably why we've seen so many runs.
Snap is bobbled, put on the ground by Welsh. She does get it back up, but Hume's putting pressure on, throws it out of bounds, incomplete. And that's going to be a grounding call, I believe, Tyler. You can't just throw it away like that in high school. You've got to have a receiver somewhere.
Well, I think he had a receiver, but they're going to get illegal lineman downfield, ties. That was a run play, and so it's going to be a 5-yard penalty that will result in repeat a second. So interesting to see what Coach Coburn decides here. You're either going to have 3rd and 8 or 2nd and 14, and I think they're going to take 2nd and 14.
Provo is flirting with that field goal range, so trying to maybe bump him back there and see if your defense can get a couple more stops. They will take the penalty. It pushes out to the 27-yard line is where Provo now has it. Brecken Bowen checks into the game on the defensive line. 3 receivers out to the left for Provo. There's your snap. Welsh looking left, throwing left. It is complete. No, dropped again, Tyler. The receiver had it, turned and started running. That's Magleby again, and he had no one near him either, and he just dropped it on the turn.
So the 2 inside guys are going to run seam routes, and then the outside guy is going to do a 5-yard in. And that 5-yard in tie is a tough route to catch because you're coming in and the ball's coming at you. It makes that ball seem like it's coming a little bit faster. That's the 2nd drop we've seen from Magleby on similar routes.
Hit him right, though, in the face mask.
Yeah,
That's one you got to haul in there. That ball was on the money. Good news for Wasatch, though, as it goes to 3rd and 14 for the Bulldogs. 9 minutes left here in the second quarter. And we're going to have a false start that will add 5 more. Provo moving backwards here on the last couple penalties. 3rd and 19 after the dust settles on this one.
So an interesting matchup, Tyler, here on the outside. Scott Gabler has come out to play. Oh, they're going to call this on Wasatch, Tyler, so maybe an imitating the snap count on Wasatch. And so that's going to give 5 yards back to Provo. So we're going to end up still at 3rd and 9 after the both penalties.
Well, you'll be able to hear that, won't you, in tonight's game with no fans or spectators. Be able to hear plenty of what's going on down there on the field. Back to 3rd and 9 it goes. Ball's at the 22-yard line. Welsh in the backfield with Harward. There's your snap. He's going to look left, now right, throwing a fade to the right side. Good coverage there by River Wardle, who was stride for stride, incomplete, out of bounds, and River was not fooled at all on that ball.
No, good job there from River Wardle. Was right stride and stride. Very good job. Provo's going to bring their field goal came out onto the field. And Tyler, this is an interesting call. Just watching pregame, this was not a gimme for Provo's kicker, to say the least.
They're going to put the hold down right at the 30, which will be a 40-yarder. Wasatch in a prevent field goal defense right now, expecting fake. There's the snap. It's good. The kick's got enough leg, and it's up and through. And Tyler, that one would have been good from about 45, maybe even 50. A low line drive, but plenty of leg gets there, and the Bulldogs cut the lead of Wasatch in half. It's now 13-10 with 8:43 remaining in the first half.
The Dairy King, home of the train, is safely open for business. The dining area is open with sanitizing stations. The staff is wearing masks, easy curbside, and their convenient drive-thru. Dairy King offers a complete menu of burgers, seasonal shakes like peach, raspberry, and peach cobbler, along with the best gluten-free menu in town. proudly serving the Heber Valley for 73 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S.
This is football.
Wasatch High School Sports on the radio with Ty and Ty on 94.5 The Peak.
13-10 with 8:43 to play in the second quarter. You're listening to Wasatch High versus Provo High football. And Tyler, maybe a little bit of surprise early on in this game. I think a lot of people after Wasatch beating up on Maple Mountain last week thought that Wasatch was going to come in and walk through this one. It's homecoming night for Provo. Even though no fans are in the stands, Provo has come out inspired, I think, in this first half and is keeping themselves in the ballgame early on.
Tyler, anyone who's close to high school football knows that Provo's 2-3 record is a little misleading as well. They were very competitive last year. They've played a tough schedule. They've lost to Westlake, Springville, and Lehigh. None of those are slouches.
Exactly.
And this is a better team than probably their record indicates. Cook's going to get the handoff on first down, be out across the 20-yard line, be a pickup of about 2 yards.
Right now, Tyler Lassa, I think is how they pronounced it, is having a good game from this outside linebacker position. Jackson Morden on the right side having himself a tough time as Provo now goes to a 4-man front for the first time tonight.
Edwards is going to throw on 2nd and 8, pressure coming, and he's going to go down in the backfield at the 19-yard line. Did a nice job of trying to slide up in the pocket, but just ran out of space. And the Provo defender was able to reach his arms out and just drag him back. Edwards did a good job tucking the ball, though, and hanging on to it and giving Wasatch a chance here on third.
More placement issues, Tyler, with the ball. It's going to be a yard back, so this is going to bring up 3rd and 11.
Well, and that's, Tyler, you can blame the officials, but Wasatch is going so quickly that it's hard for the officials to get that thing set when Wasatch is chomping at the bit the way they are. 3rd down, Edwards is going to roll left immediately on the snap, throwing for Kalama, complete to Kalama at the 32-yard line, and that should be another Wasatch first down. Wasatch has run that play over and over. When they need 10, they go to that rollout and comebacker to Kalama, and they've got it again.
Yeah, they call that gopher, where you got some seam routes from the other receivers, and it's really just an ISO route to that guy on that far side. It's a great 3rd and long play, especially if you can get outside the pocket with no support to that single-side receiver. Good ball from Adarius.
3 receivers out to the right side. Cook still in the backfield with Edwards. Kalama alone on the left side. There's your snap. Edwards looking left, climbing up again. He's grabbed by the helmet. Morton's trying to shake him off, but he can't. Edwards is going to go down for the 2nd time on this drive. But again, it's only a loss of 1 yard as Edwards climbed up in the pocket.
Yeah, and that's such a good skill to have as a quarterback to step up in that pocket. That's the 2nd time, though, from that right side. And my roster's not with me right now, but Morton having a hard time with the defensive end on the left side for Provo.
Hard to see the number anyway. The player has about 3 feet of hair there.
Luega.
Screen to Chris Cook on 2nd and 11. It's complete. And he's got some space, some blockers in front. Cook across the 40 to the 45, driven out of bounds at about the 47-yard line of Wasatch. And that'll be a gain of 16 yards for Chris, and has the Wasp moving the chains for another Wasatch physical therapy first down.
Yeah, right now, an early physical, the fit stop player of the game is Chris Cook. I think he's playing really well at the running back position. He's got a couple of passes now out of the backfield.
Play action to Cook on first down. Has Edwards wanting more. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. Dumps it down. Intercepted. Coming right across Kalama is McElby. He's got a pick across the 50. Cut down by Cook at the 47-yard line of Wasatch. But that one was Edwards just trying to check down and didn't see McElby cutting underneath of Kalama. The first turnover of the ball game goes to the Bulldogs.
Well, and if you're Provo, Tyler, Maggleby's having himself a game. Even though he has the 2 drop passes, he's had numerous catches for first downs. Now comes up with the big first takeaway of the game in favor of Provo. But again, that one is set up due to Luega, the left defensive end for Provo, who just gave Wasatch fits coming off there, Wasatch's right side. And he was providing pressure once again. Darius was able to escape the pressure and just tried to make something happen downfield. And a good job of Maggleby stepping underneath it. Only the 2nd interception of the season for Darius Edwards.
Welsh back onto the field for the Bulldogs. Quick screen out, complete to the right side, and forward for 8 yards. goes the Bulldogs. That one just an easy pitch and catch out to the right side.
Again, very similar to what Wasatch runs. And right now, just watching film, I did not think Provo looked as fast as they're looking tonight. Welsh is doing a great job of getting the ball out of his hands quickly, and the Provo receivers have ended up looking a lot quicker than I thought they did on film.
Yeah, that was Rosales. McElwee's been the number one target there. Harvard's looked good out of the backfield, but Rosales has also been good for the Bulldogs. 2nd and 1. Welsh wants to throw again, looking left down to McElwee. Pass up and incomplete. Wardle in one-on-one coverage. McElwee had to work back on it. Incomplete. Hit him in the arms, but it was just a little bit too tricky, too acrobatic to haul it in.
And Ty, I'm going to take a second. One of the unsung heroes for Wasatch in this season has been River Wardle. He didn't get hardly any time last year at the defensive back position, and I think he has been more than solid at the DB position this year. Another good coverage there. That would have been a great catch from McElwee because of the coverage by River Wardle on the outside. And he's allowed Nelson and some of these receivers, Cooper Scott, to focus more on the offensive side of things instead of having to play both ways.
3rd and 1, sees Provo go to power. Just an easy dive there for 3 yards, and they've got the first down to the 35 of Wasatch.
Pretty fortunate, actually, from Wasatch as Harvard almost broke that one. Wasatch went zero high safety again on that play to try to bring a little bit of pressure to get some extra guys in the box. Luckily, we were able to trip him up, or else he'd have been able to go to the house. Hagen Briss is going to come out of the game. Braxton Turner and Brecken Bowen in at the defensive tackle positions. Celia Akana, Mason Hume at the defensive ends. Colby Clough and Scott Gabler still playing at those linebacker positions.
Alone in the backfield goes Welsh. There's a snap. It's a quick throw out. Incomplete again. The 3rd drop right in the hands of Provo, and they dropped it. Incomplete. Would have been a minimal gain there, Tyler, anyway. Only about 2 yards, and Wasatch was coming in quickly to make the tackle. That time it was Taki who was the intended receiver.
First pass attempt to Taki in the game. Looks young, Tyler. I'm not sure how old he is, but a smaller receiver for Provo. Yeah, just a sophomore, and he heard big Colby Clough, Kobe McPhee coming up behind him.
Couple sophomores in there by Taki right now is Carson Shorts, who's also a sophomore, and they both look the part. They're about 5'6", 5'7", maybe 140 pounds there, Tyler. They're not very big. Standing next to Rosales, who's a senior at 6'2", 190. Makes him look even more small standing next to him, but that's where they're at here. Kobe McPhee showing a little pressure over here on the right side. Now he backs off in coverage. There's your snap, hand off to Harward. Across the 35, cut down to the 33. Good closure, though, from the defensive line. Looked like there was a hole, but it didn't last long as Bowen and Brisk and Hume are in there to help make the tackle.
Turner in on that one as well. Thing that I'm seeing, Tyler, from the defensive line of Wasatch is when you get pulling and power action from the offensive line, sometimes as a D tackle, you don't get blocked. And if you go up the field, it's to the benefit of the offense. Wasatch needs to read those pulls a little bit better. Stay on the defense or stay on the line of scrimmage. Keep your eyes up and make some plays.
3rd and 8 to the 33. Passes across and complete to Taki at the 27-yard line. That's going to be shy of the sticks, bringing up 4th and about 2. Whoa, the mark goes about 3 more yards down the field. They put it at the 25-yard line, and you can hear the displeasure of the coaches and players on the field by that mark.
The official on the Provo side, oh, my heavens, that is no way a first down.
Oh,
my
they're going to give it to him. They've got it at the 25, and he was cut down at the 27-yard line.
So the Provo line judge has it as a first down. The judge on the Wasatch side had him a good yard or 2 short.
Oh my goodness!
Wow, that was not a good placement. I'm sorry, that was not good. And I know we don't have the best angle,
the
but we
official
do.
from the Wasatch side came sprinting in too because he knew
blowing
it
the
was
whistle.
wrong, and he just got outvoted apparently in their huddle. First down, Provo. On the
Coach Coburn without Fanstein, we can hear him very clearly. I don't think he's happy with the call.
Provo's got the first down at the 25. There's your snap. Harvard's going to be the quarterback. The ball is tipped and complete at the 22.
Hey, I'd be scared of Coach Chambers, too, if I was the ref over there.
That's an interesting call there. They brought in Harvard for the Wildcat formation, Ty, probably to set up something like that, but that was a quick throw with about a guy who's standing at, I think they've got him listed here at 5'6". Not exactly easy to see over those big defensive linemen. It was batted down easily.
Yeah, you got Seeley, you got Brecken Bowen. Both of those guys are 6'3", 6'4".
2nd and 10. They're going to call it incomplete. So ball at the 25. Design quarterback draw to Welsh, and he's going to be cut down right at the line of scrimmage again. Rosales, the receiver on the left side, holding his hands up like that was a miscommunication again.
Yeah, that time it was QB counter tie, and Wasatch's defensive line played it just how you want it. They get pull by the left guard and left tackle, and the both guys for Wasatch pinch, and it just caused no open spaces for Welsh.
Ty, in our discussions before, Craig talked about how his brother had said the quarterback has from time to time this season gotten the plays confused or changed them in the huddle like that. And that might have been one of those scenarios based on the way you're seeing the receivers holding up their arms on that play. Like, that's not what we thought we were running. And the quarterback came into the game with only 1 touchdown to 8 interceptions. He's doubled his season total here tonight, with his 1 score. As it stands after that play, though, it's 3rd and 10 at the 25 of Wasatch. 3:23 on the clock. Welsh, 3-step drop, throws right. Nice ball, complete right at the sticks again at the 15, and I think they're going to have another first down.
There's no chance that's not a first down, Tyler. You're on the Provo sideline. You're going to get the placement that you need on that one. Tyler, that's a big-time throw. I've been impressed with Welch so far in this game. He's getting it out of his hand quick. He's throwing a good tight spiral, and he's put the ball on the money. Most of his incompletions have been drop passes by the Provo receivers.
Well, Provo's threatening to take the lead here at the end of the first half, and they will receive to start the second half as well. Wasatch. Provo comes out in that familiar formation again. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Welsh is looking left, wants a screen over to the right. It's complete to Harward. Wasatch reads it nicely, though, and is able to make the tackle at the 17-yard line, maybe the 16 after they fall forward. But that'll still bring up 3rd and long behind the chains.
And so far, Tyler, like we've seen from the Provo kicker, this is definitely in his field goal range, and a field goal ties this thing up. More importantly, Ty, this Provo offense has been on the field now for quite a long time. It's keeping, once again, Adarius and Kalama off the field, and you're shortening this game up a little bit. This has been a quick first half, and already only 2:08 to play on that Dorius Dental scoreboard.
3rd and 11, and we've got a stoppage before the play can get off. Timeout is taken on the field. We'll go ahead and take the break as well. Wasatch leads narrowly. It's 13-10, 2:06 on the clock. Provo is threatening at the 16-yard line of Wasatch.
The Dairy King, home of the train, serving the best food with friends and family in the Valley. Winner of Best of State for 17 years. Dairy King is proud to support Wasatch High School football. Come in before, during, or after the game to enjoy their burgers, fries, shakes, and more. The Dairy King, where their family has been serving your family for 73 years and counting.
This pause in the action and this timeout is brought to you by Mirror Lake Station. Voted best donuts in Utah. The Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, goodies. New owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station in Camas. And Ty, got a great story about David Wade. He'll probably be mad that I share the story, but he was a great baseball player in his own right, and always had dreams, of course, of everybody of being on ESPN. Well, he got his chance when Cale Sanderson was going undefeated all throughout college. They showed one match when Cale was a young one, and he was wrestling David. And David was thrown on his back by Cale Sanderson. But, hey, he got his moment on ESPN.
3rd and 11. Welsh throws out, dropped again on that same ball, Tyler. It was going to be shy of the sticks at about the 12-yard line, but did have some one-on-one matchups to try to make a move. Incomplete again, though, and that one was a little bit lower of a throw.
Lower and a little bit to the outside, but definitely still catchable. But like I said, Ty, that basic route where it's just a 5-yard in, it seems so simple to complete. But just imagine yourself, hitting a baseball and moving forward towards that pitch. It just makes that ball come at you a little bit quicker. Sometimes you miss. Read how fast that ball's coming.
Another field goal attempt from Provo. This one's up, and again, it is through the upright. So the Bulldogs tie it up 13-13. With 2 minutes left here in the first half. Wasatch will get one more crack at it before the half comes to a close. We'll go ahead and keep it here, Tyler. This one's been tight. Back and forth they've gone. Wasatch has 1 turnover. Provo doesn't have any. And this one's been a little better than expected. Coming up here in just a few moments will be our halftime show brought to you by Guild Mortgage. And we're going to take a look around the state at some other scores. Coach Ryan Bishop mentioned 10 football games this week have been canceled already, Tyler, because of COVID-19.
And, Tyler, I just wanted to mention that if you were given a keys to the game for Provo, it probably would have been to move the chains, to get those Wasatch Physical Therapy first downs. I want to take a chance to thank them as our sponsors. Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine is your rehabilitation specialist dedicated to your total recovery from sports injuries, auto injuries, industrial and or commercial injuries. Let Dan Ivey and his team get you back to 100%. And that's what Provo's doing right now, Ty, on Wasatch, is they're just moving the chains. Haven't had a lot of big plays. I want to say one or two, but it has simply been move the chains, and Provo stays in this game. It's currently 13-13.
Low kick could have been returnable, but Nelson came up a little bit quickly at the 10, and the ball sailed over his head on a low line drive into the end zone for a touchback.
See what Wasatch has, Tyler. They've had 4 possessions, 2 of which have resulted in touchdowns. The other 2 have not. One a punt and one an interception from Adarius Edwards that turned into points. But if you're keeping track of scoring drives, right now Provo in the lead. They've had 3 scoring drives, just haven't been able to get it in the end zone. Wasatch with 2 where they had an extra point blocked. But plenty of time, Tyler. 2:02 is plenty of time for Wasatch to march down this field and get more points on the board before half.
They're going to start with Gilman on the right side, Scott and Nelson. There's your snap, a handoff to Kalama, running right. He's got to break a few tackles, and he's not able to. He'll fall forward for a couple yards. But Celia kind of just didn't have much space moving Provo with 3 guys into the backfield.
Yeah, the blocking on the outside wasn't there. I've been impressed with Provo's defense since that first drive has played pretty stout.
2nd and 8. Akana stays in the game with Edwards. It'll be a handoff to Akana again, this time running left, and he'll get out to the 25, but he's stood up. 3rd and 5.
Akana hasn't been playing offense very often, and if you saw before that play,
this is where
Darius Edwards literally turned to Akana and said, hey, run right there. And that's what Akana did and picked up 6 yards.
There's a great video of a stiff arm of him from last week, Tyler, that's online. This play is going to be blown dead before Wasatch can get the 3rd down play off, and it's Wasatch who's going to take a timeout.
No, Provo's actually going to take the timeout, Tyler.
We'll keep it here. 3rd and 4 coming up for Wasatch, 1:18 on the clock. And you think, here, if Wasatch gets a first down, now they start going pretty quick, right? They've kind of come out a little methodical here, haven't wanted to give Provo a chance to get a cheap one at the end of the half.
How about the confidence of Coach Chambers over on the other side, Ty? You got a 3rd down here from Wasatch, and you're saying, hey, if you're going to give us this ball back, we'll take it, and we'll try to take the lead before the break. Wanted to take this time, Tyler, with timeouts, once again to mention Mirror Lake Station. I had a rough night a couple of nights ago. I think I mentioned it to you, where I wish Mirror Lake Station's hours may have been, from 1 to 3, because I'd have driven up and gotten a donut from 1 to 3, driving my son around trying to get him to go to sleep.
Yeah, you've got a newborn who's keeping you up a little bit.
A little bit. More Abby, and I took a chance there.
Make sure you get there early, too, because if you show up any time in the afternoon, it's hit or miss.
Oh, yeah, that's
hit or miss.
That's way too late, Craig, to get there. In fact, what my mom likes to do is she'll call David and Kristen are my aunt and uncle, and we'll call up there in the morning and literally order donuts that they then bring back to us to make sure that they're set aside so that nobody gets them.
That's the way to do it.
3rd and 4 for the Wasps as they come out of the timeout. There's your snap. Play action to Cook. Edwards looking left, flush left. Provo in pursuit. Edwards is going to have to do something with it. He gets rid of it, throws it incomplete at the 40-yard line. Working against his throwing motion. He just couldn't get around and square up on that one. And the Wasps are going to kick it back to the Bulldogs.
He was looking to Kalama on that one, Ty, and Provo was bracketing Kalama on that play. They had a DB underneath and a safety over the top. And when you have a safety over the top of that wide receiver, you should have an underneath route coming across the middle. And I thought he had Cooper Scott coming across the middle if he'd have came off to that second guy. But Provo's defensive ends, again, are giving Wasatch fits, and Adarius didn't have time to come back to that second option.
Rouser in to kick it away. It's a good snap. Hayden holds it well, gets away a short kick. It'll be across midfield at the 45. Takes a good Wasatch bounce down to the 41. And that's where the Wasps will down it. But that's doable for Provo. Ball at the 41-yard line with 1:06 left in the first half. And that's been a story we haven't talked about, Tyler. Provo's gotten good field position this game.
Yes, that's very true.
3 times they've been at the 40 or beyond to start drives. Only 13 points to show for it. But they've certainly been winning the field position game.
See how aggressive is now. Wasatch, I think all timeouts for Wasatch. So if Wasatch wanted, they could try to switch the field a little bit here on Provo.
Welsh throws, ball's up in the air, batted, incomplete. It was in the hands of Rosales, but hit by McPhee, and Cooper Scott dove for it, couldn't come down with it. Incomplete. That'll stop the clock.
Kalama not in the game right now. Right now at safety, you have, let's see, Jake Gilman and Cooper Scott. Colby Clough also playing kind of a third safety. Scott Gabler playing up at the near linebacker position. Wasatch still, and actually they're going three-man front. Seeley's going to drop into coverage.
Be a run to Harward. He's across the 45 down to the 50, diving, pickup of 9 yards. Although we have had a few questionable spots, so this could go to 13 immediately, Ty. Now they're going to give him 9, 3rd and 1. Clock's moving.
Akana did a good job on that one of being able to come off and get the tackle.
There's your snap, hand off to Harward. He's across, diving easily for the first down to the 48 of Wasatch. I'm pretty sure you had an illegal shift there, Tyler, as Taki was coming out as a receiver.
Tyler, I got distracted. We got fans over here. I'm not sure what's going on. We got fans down here, and I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, homecoming. Yeah, it's a homecoming royalty.
Welsh going deep on first down. In coverage is Wardle, goes for the interception and misses. Brought down at the 15-yard line, complete. Now Provo's in business. 27 seconds on the clock. Provo rushing to the ball.
Yeah, no timeouts left for Provo. Great catch from Magleby on the side.
Spike.
River Wardle not bad coverage over on that side.
Flag is down. I don't think Provo was set, so they're going to give up a few yards as well as a 10-second penalty.
No, Wasatch was offsides, Ty. Wasatch.
Offsides.
Yep. Wasatch was offsides, and so this is going to put Provo inside the Wasatch. I think it's going to push it down to the 5 yard line.
They're first and goal right now, so they'll be down to the 5, yes.
What a change of events here, Tyler. Wasatch rolling on their first two possessions. In the first 2 of 3 possessions, Wasatch looked great offensively. Now Provo in business, looking to take the lead going into the second half. And like you mentioned, Ty, they get the ball to start the second half.
Well, as I pointed out in pregame, some unsung heroes that you just don't often talk about, those starting defensive positions. Wasatch is missing 3 out of the 11 right now.
And none bigger than Tyler Carltai. I mean, like I said, he's the quarterback of this defense, and he makes so many plays from that linebacker position. Not that Colby Clough's playing bad as his backup, but he's not Tyler Carl. Tyler Carl's an all-state, legit linebacker that you do not have because of the injury. Man, these refs are having a hard time placing the ball, Ty.
We're waiting still. They're having quite a conversation over there. Finally, the ball is settled down at the 5-yard line. 17 seconds is on the clock. And I actually think that should probably be closer to 27, Tyler. They got the first down at 27. Got down there and spiked it quickly, but Provo's going to lose about 8 seconds. They'll reset it to 19. There's your snap. Welsh throwing a fade to the back corner. La Kalam in coverage. Bats it up and incomplete. Good coverage from the freshman.
Yeah, great coverage from the freshman. I think even that the receiver from Provo kind of pushed off a little bit even on Law, and Law does a good job of still keeping his composure. I like the play call, though, Ty, because that doesn't take hardly any time off the clock. You're still going to have 2 plays now here. Or you can go run, get up on the ball, and spike it, so you keep the defense off balance a little bit.
They'll probably go field goal, don't you think, here? 3rd and 5 is what they have.
No, 2nd and 5.
Oh, because that's right. The spike, they didn't lose the down.
They didn't lose the
offsides,
down. Exactly.
Excuse me. So they've got a couple plays to work with here.
Eye back in the backfield.
Welsh under center. There's your snap. Straight drop. Throws it across the middle. Easy touchdown. Tight end released, and he had nothing but open space. Touchdown for Provo, who takes a 19-13 lead with 10 seconds left.
Lisa, he's had a great game defensively, and now he gets to add a touchdown as well. Lasa. And just like that, Provo takes a touchdown lead into the second half. 10 seconds still on the clock, so Wasatch could still get some points on the kickoff return. But great job from Coach Chambers. He calls the timeout on 3rd down, rolls the dice. Wasatch gets the incomplete pass, and then Provo takes advantage of the clock. And just like that, it is a 20-13 ball game.
Well, Provo's taking control of this one. They've scored the last 13 points. And Wasatch will have to kick it back to them here to start the 3rd quarter. We'll be back. Wasatch trailing 20-13.
If you taught your kids how to change engine oil before you taught them how to ride a bike, then CarQuest Auto Parts is for you. If you would never lend a buddy your wobble sockets because, well, he really should have his own, then CarQuest is for you. If you have more jack stands than your wife has shoes, then CarQuest is for you. CarQuest is for those who really know and care about their car. With well over 500,000 available parts and accessories, CarQuest is serious auto parts.
Stop by CarQuest at 434 North Main Street in Heber City.
The Bluths at Physical at the Fit Stop have been providing physical therapy to the Heber Valley for over 45 years. During this time is no exception. They are currently seeing patients in their clinic, following all local and federal health guidelines. In addition, they're excited to now be offering telehealth visits. If you've needed PT during COVID-19, they can help. Call the office today to schedule an appointment. Physical at the Fit Stop, 435-654-5607. Spelled different because they are different.
Wasatch is set to return, and it's going to be too deep to return for Kalama. Touchback with 10 seconds remaining in the first half. Wasatch trails 20-13. The Guild Mortgage halftime show is right on deck. Stay with us there as we break down the stats and highlights of the first half. And momentum is certainly all on Provo's side right now.
Yeah, it is, Ty, and I think it's just been a well-coached first half here. I'm getting some texts from Wasatch parents saying, why can we hear fans in the stands? And I agree, but it's the royalty, the homecoming royalty fans are here. We're getting ready to go out and get honored here at the end of the half, and so that's why you can hear a little bit of fans in the background. Wasatch is going to take a chance here, going to throw it out to Kalama, see if he can make a play.
He's across the 30 to the 35, dives forward for 17, 3 seconds left. And the clock, did they take a timeout, Ty? Clock's at 1, stopped right now. No timeout. The team's leaving the field, and so that should be the end of the first half.
Yeah, Coach Coburn said, let's go into the break. Coach Roberts.
Half the team's left, Tyler. Half the team is on the field. And so we're not sure if the half's over yet. The players aren't sure if the half's over. The officials aren't sure if the half's over. Now they're going to wind it, and it's going to officially be over, Tyler. So at the end of the first half, Wasatch finds themselves trailing 20-13. The Guild Mortgage halftime show is due up here momentarily. Stay with us. We'll break down how we got to this point and what the Wasps need to do to get the lead back on their side in the second half.
Starting defense out on the field, Kobe McPhee, Spencer Risto starting the second half at the right DB position. Blitz coming for Wasatch.
Welsh throws a quick pass, complete, 5-yard out, tackle made by Kalama, but not before a pickup of 9 yards, possibly 10. We felt uneasy with the official spotting the ball. It's uncomfortable saying until it has officially been set down. It is going to go for 9.
Coach kind of upset with Jaron Kalama on that. He brought both middle linebackers on that again, trying to generate pressure, and Kalama gave too much space to the number 3 receiver. And once again, Tyler Welch is just on the money with everything, with his reads, with his throws. He's playing his best game of the season. 3 receivers left. There's your snap to Welch, a handoff to Harward, who's hit across the 30, but quickly dragged back by Akana and thrown to the turf. Gabler came and helped finish it off along with Jaron Kalama. Ty, is it enough for a first? Right at the sticks, it looks like. They are putting up third down here on our sideline, so it's going to be third down, third and short. Tyler, one name that we just haven't called a lot defensively is Seeley. Provo's done a good job of really isolating him and not making him do much in that first half. Already, though, early on in the second half, you call his number, maybe see if Seeley can take over the second half.
3rd and 1 for the Bulldogs. Under center goes Welsh. There's your snap. It's a power handoff. Harward is hit right at the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure he got it. Right at the line of scrimmage. I think Wasatch is held. 4th down is the signal coming up. What a stand from that defensive line. Back-to-back stops right at the line of scrimmage.
Braxton Turner in there on the stop along with another host of Wasatch players, and that's what we expected out of Wasatch. We expected Wasatch to be more physical in this game and be able to stop Provo in the run game. And you wonder, Ty, with Provo's guys playing both ways, will that affect here in the second half?
Well, and what a luxury to have a guy like Braxton Turner, Tyler. When he lines up against someone, you feel like he's going to win that one-on-one matchup every time, and he did so right there. Provo's going to kick this one away. It's a short kick coming down around the 40 of Wasatch. It hits, and it takes a Wasatch bounce out of bounds. Going to be marked somewhere between the 40 and 45-yard line. There is a flag down in the backfield by the 30.
First punt of the game for Provo comes with 9:56 to play in the third quarter.
We'll keep it here and check the penalty.
Got a holding on Provo. So are they choosing if they can re-kick it? And I would say no, right? You're going to take that field position.
Yeah, great field position here. They've got it right at the 40-yard line is where it looks like they're going to mark it down. So Wasatch will have 60 yards to go to start this drive. Coming out, they're trailing by 7, but they got just what the doctor ordered there, a 3-and-out, and frankly a physical defensive stand as Provo went 9 yards on a first down pass and then went 0 and 0 yards on second and third down on runs. And the Wasp just physically dominated.
Josh Sanders gets the start the second half at the slot position next to Jackson Nelson on the right-hand side.
Twins left, twins right. Quick screen out there, complete to Kalama. He's across the 50, diving forward to the 48, maybe 47-yard line of Provo. Into Provo territory, just like that goes Wasatch.
Yeah, Tyler, that quick screen route, I mentioned that at the break. I think Wasatch could take advantage of the soft coverage from Provo.
Scott and Kalama left, Nelson and Saunders right. There's your snap, handoff to Cook, sweeping right, plants and cuts up the middle, cut down at the 44-yard line of Provo.
Good 5-yard gain.
That'll be a healthy chunk on first down and keep Wasatch ahead of the sticks. You mentioned he's over 5 yards per carry in this game, Tyler. Chris Cook has been getting what he wants.
Well, and Tyler, he's been patient. He's been able to find the holes.
On the ball goes Wasatch again. Edwards wants to throw right. Pass is caught. What a snag by Cooper Scott. Goes down as he catches. It'll be only a gain of 3 yards, but he had to go full extension and haul that one in on a dive. Does pick up some positive yards, and now we're looking at 3rd and 2, ball at the 41-yard line. Twins left, twins right. Edwards on the ball, ready to go. There's your snap. Option to Cook. Cook's got some work to do, trying to stretch it to the left. He's got the first. Flag comes in, though, at Cooper Scott's feet.
No, that's a bad call, Ty.
They're going to have a hold on Cooper, I believe, here.
It's just not a good call.
Chris was cut down to the 35-yard line, and this one's coming back, though.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, Tyler. I was watching that block the whole way. I thought Cooper did a good job of keeping his hips planted. And I don't have as good angle as that official down there, but, man, I just don't agree with that call. Takes a first down away, and that's going to give Wasatch now a 3rd and looks like 12.
So rather than an easy 3rd and 2, Wasatch now has a lot of work here, Tyler. 3rd and 12, ball right at midfield. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Kalama, the lone receiver, on the left. Nelson, Scott, and Saunders right. In the backfield is Chris Cook with Edwards. 7 seconds, 6 seconds on the game clock. 3 seconds, there's the snap. Edwards looking right, climbs up, throws deep right. No one's there, incomplete. Nelson just didn't have a good beat on that ball. He was the closest receiver, but that one was going to be incomplete from the moment it left Edwards' hands.
Yeah, Tyler, and that's just a misread by AD on that one. Is it's a moose pin is what they call that, where you have a mesh route underneath and then a dig and a post, and the safety went with the post. And once again, I think Cooper Scott's got the middle of the field, Tyler. There was a couple of plays in the first half. I thought he was open across the middle, and I thought he was open again on that one, where if you just throw the underneath route, Cooper can get a catch and then get up the field.
Rouser on to punt away again. This is going to be another short kick, climbing up to make a fair catch at the 20. It's fumbled. Flag comes in, though, and it's fumbled because Ty Nelson ran into the guy coming up to catch it. So that'll be another penalty on Wasatch. The ball was recovered by Provo, placed at the 20, but that'll probably be a 15-yarder and move Provo out to the 35. So it'll just be a net punt of 15 yards. We'll be back for Provo's second series of the second half after this.
The Bluths at Physical at the Fit Stop have been providing physical therapy to the Heber Valley for over 45 years. During this time is no exception. They are currently seeing patients in their clinic, following all local and federal health guidelines. In addition, they're excited to now be offering telehealth visits. If you've needed PT during COVID-19, they can help. Call the office today to schedule an appointment. Physical at the Fit Stop, 435-654-5607. Spelled different because they are different.
This is football. Football! Let's play, fellas!
Now, back to the action for more Wasatch Wasp Sports with Tyler Moss and Tyler Baird on 94.5 The Peak.
It is a 15-yard catch interference penalty on Wasatch, so out to the 35 goes Provo. And on first down, they're going to try to stretch it right for Harvard, but he's cut down by Sealy Akana on the backside. Sealy quickly into the backfield, no gain. Ball back at the 35 for second down.
Brecken Bowen in at the defensive tackle position along with Hagen Brisk. Seen Hagen Brisk a lot more on the defensive line today than we have all season.
Welsh in shotgun, Harvard on his left hip. Harvard wants to throw, batted down by Bowen immediately. Brecken Bowen in the backfield very quickly, got his arms up and hit Welsh. Incomplete, and give all the credit there to Brecken Bowen.
Yeah, made a nice play on that one. Another RPO that Welsh decided to pull and try to throw, and Bowen does a good job of getting his hands in the passing lane. Now, 3rd and long, I think this is where you want to have Provo in this second half. Not only that, Braxton Turner wasn't in on the first 2 plays. He now comes in on 3rd down.
Should be fresh in there. So on the line, you've got Bowen, Turner, Akana, and Hume. Clough also in there showing some pressure. Gabler showing pressure as well. And we've got movement from Provo. And that's Bowen, who's messing on the defensive line there, made the offensive lineman antsy, and that should be 5 against Provo.
Yeah,
so back him up, 3rd and 15.
Be a false start. And you see just a little bit more energy out of the Wasatch defense right now than we saw in the first half.
The Wasatch defense has made big plays in this season. Thinking back to the Viewmont game, Jake Gilman had a pick 6 in that one. The Spanish Fort game, a couple big interceptions. On 3rd and 15, Welsh throws off his back foot, and there's Gilman right on cue. He's got the pick at 50. He's bringing it back to the 40, across the 30, cut down to the 27-yard line, but Jake Gilman giving a spark to Wasatch. A big defensive play from the senior captain, number 4, down there on the field for Wasatch, has the Was offense in business.
Great job there, Wasatch's defensive line forces Welsh to throw off his back foot. He doesn't get enough on it, and a great play by Jake Gilman as he snatches it out of the air. Probably what Wasatch needs to get this offense back rolling. They're inside Provo territory on the 28-yard line. 7:24 to play, 3rd quarter. Wasatch still down by a touchdown.
Big momentum-shifting play, though, there for Jake.
And what we expected out of this defense, again, without Tyler Carl, you don't know how the team's going to play. But Wasatch's defense comes out dominant in the first 2 possessions against Provo.
Edwards, quick screen out to Jackson Nelson, complete. Hit at the 20. 25, is what he got down to. It'll be a pickup of 2 before he's tackled.
Big hit by Havea, who comes in high. And in watching film, Tyler, Havea's a physical player, and he gets a lot of targeting calls. And he likes to get in guys' faces as well. And he got a pretty high hit there from Jackson Nelson.
2 receivers left, 2 right. It's an option again. Cook doesn't have the angle, but makes the first man miss. Trying to stretch, but he's running out of space. Chased out of bounds at the 27-yard line, which is just near the original line of scrimmage.
Same play that they ran that had the holding call on Cooper Scott. Cooper a little bit hesitant on the blocking on that one, but a tall task for Cooper. Cooper a little undersized against Lisa, is that how they pronounced it? Anyway, he's been playing really good outside linebacker, and he's made a couple of nice plays.
3rd down, handoff to Cook. Going to try to get half of it here. He's down around the 22, and so now you got a little bit of a decision to make here. You got about 4th and 5. After the run from Chris. That call looks like they're going for it all the way here, right, Tyler?
Well, the offense wants to go for it. Coach Colburn looking to see where they're at, and he kind of secedes and says, okay, let's go for it on 4th and 4.
3 receivers right, 1 left. Snap to Edwards. Play action to Cook. Throwing low to Kalama, incomplete. Never had a chance. Just came out low out of Edwards' hands. And the Wasps spoil a golden opportunity on an interception from Gilman that took him down to the 27-yard line. Provo takes over on down to the 22 when we come back.
If you taught your kids how to change engine oil before you taught them how to ride a bike, then CarQuest Auto Parts is for you. If you would never lend a buddy your wobble sockets because, well, he really should have his own, then CarQuest is for you. If you have more jack stands than your wife has shoes, then CarQuest is for you. CarQuest is for those who really know and care about their car. With well over 500,000 available parts and accessories, CarQuest is serious auto parts.
Stop by CarQuest at 434 North Main Street in Heber City.
It's game time!
Let's do it.
Ready?
The Wasatch Wasps are swarming on 94.5 The Peak. Now let's get back to the action with Ty and Ty.
Well, on first down, Provo runs that inside slot receiver to settle down 5 yards into his zone. Easy throw and catch, and he dives forward for 6 more. First down to Provo, 11-yard pickup. on the first down throw and catch.
Little momentum shifted right back to Provo. That's their first down of the second half on their third possession.
Run this time from Welsh. She's going to be balled up at the line of scrimmage and cut down.
Great job by Colby Clough, Tyler. Colby Clough coming up from the linebacker position, playing for Tyler Carl, makes the tackle for loss on that one. Looks like they're going to put it back at the regular line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Provo's going to some different targets, though. Magleby was kind of the big target along with Rosales in the first half. This half they've been targeting Ty Larson a little bit more. Harvard's been the beast in the backfield all game long for him, and he'll stay back there right now for the Bulldogs. Twins left, twins right, 2nd and 10. Ball's at the 33-yard line of Provo. Welsh wants to throw right. It's incomplete, batted down by La Kalama. Freshman timed it up well and jarred the ball loose. That one was intended for McGilvray. Another new target for Provo.
You know, La Kalama got beat deep one time last week against Maple Mountain. He has been extremely solid in today's game, making numerous plays. Tyler, watching how Coach Akon is using Seeley without Tyler Carl, they're dropping Seeley a lot more into coverage and not having him be as much of a pass rush guy. He's up on the line of scrimmage on this play, but on that last one, dropped into the flats.
Gabler showing some pressure. Now comes on the right side blitz. Welsh throwing down the field for Magleby. Out of bounds. Risto had gotten his feet a little tangled up there, Tyler. He was the closest in coverage, but the throw drifted Magleby out of bounds anyway, and it didn't come back to get Wasatch.
Yeah, a little bit of both receiver, quarterback, and DB on that one. A little bit mixed up on the communication there. A little bit of a break for Wasatch, but overall pretty good coverage. And again, the defense continues to play well in this second half. We're more than halfway through the third quarter. Only 1 first down for Provo here in the second half.
Yeah, good strong adjustments from both defensive coaches coming out of the first half break. Provo on the kick. It's another short, wobbly one. Going to hit at the 40 again, go sideways again, and out of bounds at the 43-yard line of Wasatch. So a little better field position this time, and certainly Wasatch is winning the field position game this half. They've taken over at the 40, the 27-yard line, and now the 43-yard line again. And so never had any longer than 6 yards to go, and they don't have any points to show for it yet. Got to start cashing in at some point. See how this drive goes. Breaking the action brought to you by Edward Jones, a proud supporter of Wasatch High School athletics. And Tyler, to win in sports, you must focus on your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Jared Jensen, your Edward Jones financial advisor, can help. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC. First down throw is out and complete to Cooper Scott. Tyler, he's down for 9, maybe 10 yards, and you've been calling for that one all game long.
Yeah, I have. I think Cooper Scott's been open most of the game across the middle. Good pitch and catch there from Adarius to Cooper Scott.
It is 10 yards to give the Wasp a first down. Ball at the 48-yard line of Provo. Play action to Cook, and now swing out to Cook on the right side. Complete. He's got to make a man miss and doesn't. Drag down. Falling forward, though. Give him 1 yard. 2nd and 9 coming up. 4:35 on the clock in the third quarter. As we approach the end here of the third, Wasatch still trailing by 7. 13-20 is the score.
Josh Sanders playing a lot more offense here in the second half. That inside slot position is there again here on the trips to the left side.
This time is a handoff to Cook, and he's met immediately in backfield by 4 Provo players. And there's Havea, who comes in high again, Tyler, and hits Chris very high. And no flag comes in.
Yeah, and Tyler, I think you need to throw that one. I mean, that's not necessarily a great play from Havea. There's 2 Provo guys that are holding up the Wasatch guy, and then he just comes in late and kind of cheap shots high.
Yeah, cheap shot up high.
It's a cheap play there. Chris Cook does a good job bouncing right back up, but another 3rd and long for the Wasatch offense.
Play action. Edwards looking right, climbs up, throws right, going for Nelson, but again, not even close. 5 yards ahead of him. Wasatch sideline wanted a penalty flag, but that was pretty good coverage. That was the DB escorting Nelson out of bounds without putting any contact onto Jackson. It was just good textbook coverage there.
Another 3 and out for Wasatch offense. They have just completely stalled about halfway through the second quarter up until now. Have had a hard time moving the chains at all. Another deep throw on 3rd down, unable to get a completion, and it's going to be Rouser who's going to come out once again. Provo does not have a returner out there, and they run him out late, and Oh, I hate special teams timeouts. That's like my least favorite thing is when you have to take a special teams timeout. But Mirror Lake Station likes timeouts because that's when we get to mention them. If you need a pause in life, stop on in to Mirror Lake Station up in Camas, voted best in state donuts. Stop in for gas, groceries, goodies. It's starting to get a little bit cold, Tyler, so some last chance weekends to get up into those beautiful mountains up there. So stop on in to Mirror Lake Station.
They got some pretty good hot chocolate there, too, if you're going to go hit the trails and go for some cooler hikes. Stop on down and get some good hot chocolate. And Tyler, I'm curious. We haven't seen a fake from Wasatch all season, and you've been down in there seeing the practices. How often are they practicing those things or running those kinds of things?
Well, that's why Jay Gilman's that personal protector for the punter, because he can throw and run from that personal protector position. And it's just, more than anything in special teams and finding the right moment to run them. And if you remember, to start off this game, Wasatch had a special teams play that could have changed the game, to be honest with you. If Wasatch is able to convert that middle dribble that they jumped off sides on and they go down and score, this is a completely different game. Instead, Wasatch gets the penalty, and Provo now leads by 7.
Rouser's going to kick this one back, and it's fair caught again. A little bit shorter kick. It is inside the 20-yard line, though. They're going to down it at the 15. So pretty effective from Aiden. Wasatch has kept Provo at bay a long distance to go each time they've taken over, and it'll be no different this time. 85 yards to go for the Bulldogs to reach the end zone.
Yeah, Wasatch remains consistent on the defensive side of things. Offensive coaches here at the screen looking to see what adjustments they need to make. At this point, Tyler, you've been there. It's just not been your day offensively, and you start to get a little bit frustrated. The players start to play a little bit tighter. You just need to figure out some success.
First down pass is once again dropped right in the chest of the Provo receiver. That was Rosales, which is hit and went right to the turf. Incomplete.
Well, at least his friends aren't here to see that live.
Second down for the Bulldogs.
There are more golf carts on this field than fans tonight, Ty. And that's including us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 golf carts. 7.
20-13 is the score. Provo leading over Wasatch with 3:30 left in the third quarter. Welsh hands off to Harward, and Hume is all into the backfield to disrupt that one. Mason Hume holds on, and a couple more Wasatch players, including Brisk, Gabler.
Braxton Turner, Tyler, he wanted to run that inside. Braxton Turner did a good job of stuffing the hole he wanted to, tried to bounce it outside. And that's just good sound defense, Ty, where you have a D tackle that's plugging the inside and your defensive end is disciplined and staying outside. That's when you're going to get tackles for losses, and they did on that one. Brings up yet another 3rd and long for the Bulldogs.
3rd and 11. Welsh rolling right on the snap. Looking down the field, throwing down the field. Kobe McPhee in coverage, and that one just over the outreach hands of Larson. Ty Larson, the intended receiver. McPhee in good coverage there. Welsh had to throw it away from Kobe, and his receiver never really had a chance.
Yeah, it was a good protection there that was designed as they double-teamed Seeley. Seeley tried to go inside a little bit, and Welsh was able to get outside, but Wasatch's coverage in the secondary was very good. Made Welsh throw a perfect throw, which is just tough to do on the run. So now with 2:52 to play in the third quarter, still no score, and we only have 1 first down in the entire third quarter for either team.
The kick for Provo is nearly blocked. It's going to be short again, though. Hits at the 40 of Wasatch and takes a great Provo roll all the way into Wasatch territory, down to the 45 of Wasatch. That's where the Wasps will take over next.
The Dairy King, home of the train, serving the best food with friends and family in the Valley. Winner of Best of State for 17 years. Dairy King is proud to support Wasatch High School football. Come in before, during, or after the game to enjoy their burgers, fries, shakes, and more. The Dairy King, where their family has been serving your family for 73 years and counting.
1st and 10 for Wasatch at the 45-yard line. Edwards throws quick out to the right side, complete to Sanders. Great reception, and he's driven out of bounds once again, high by Havea. Flags down at the line of scrimmage, not for Havea. And he keeps coming in high, Ty. That's the 3rd time. And it's an easy call, right? It's an easy call. His helmet is twisted sideways right now because he's hitting high with his helmet.
Yeah, and they're not calling it. And Tyler Carl, who's on the sideline, wishes he was out there right now, and him and Have are kind of having words for each other. Didn't see what the flag was back at the line of scrimmage. It's got to be. And there's no way that Wasatch's offensive linemen are getting 2 yards downfield on that throw. That is a pitch and catch. Man, that's a quick call, but nonetheless, it's going to be 1st and 15 for the Wasatch offense, and that isn't what you wanted.
Well, something we preach, Tyler, as coaches to our baseball players is don't leave it up to the officials, right? Like, go get something and take it out of the officials' hands. And Wasatch needs to stop begging, right? You can't make this about the officials. You need to get on the ball and make some big plays here. Edwards is going to take a 3-step drop, a screen out to Cook. He's got tons of space with 3 blockers ahead of him. He's across the 50, cuts it back across the 40, down to the 30. Chris Cook down at the 30-yard line of Provo, and a nice nifty move to finish there on a jump stop. And that'll be a big gainer after the penalty. That'll go for 30 yards, Handoff to Cook already on the ball. Stretching left, cuts up the middle again, spins, cuts down after 7 yards. 2nd and 3 coming up, and it's the Chris Cook show there.
Yeah, and I love it, Ty. Feed him. He's playing well. He's making some good cuts, playing more and more confident. Keep it up.
On the ball already, 2nd and 3. There's a snap to Edwards, and they're going to stretch right to Chris this time. Trying to get the edge. He gets the edge, cuts up now, and he's got another Wasatch first down. That's a Dan Ivey Wasatch physical therapy team first down.
First 2 first downs of the second half for the Wasatch offense. They're rolling a little bit inside the CarQuest Auto red zone.
3 receivers right. That's the short side of the field. There's your snap to Edwards. Play action to Cook. Edwards does get around it, makes the first man miss. Now trying to stretch. He's across the 10, dives down to the 8. We haven't seen Adarius have to run it much this season, but he does have that capability. 2nd and short after the positive game.
Hey, Tyler, I like that. They have Havea out there playing the flats, and Adarius is definitely faster than Havea. Provo wants a timeout. Their first of the second half. Second, because they called the special teams timeout. 1:32 to play, third quarter. Wasatch inside the 10, down by 7.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
It's game time!
Let's do it.
Ready?
Wasatch High School Sports on the radio with Ty and Ty on 94.5 The Beat.
Wasatch on the move. 1:32 left in the third quarter. The Wasps trail 13-20, but they are threatening right now. The ball at the 10-yard line. They need 1 yard for a first down. Edwards has done some damage with his feet, but it's been mostly Chris Cook on this drive.
Celia Khan is going to come in at the running back position, though, Ty, with 1:32 to play again in the third quarter.
3 receivers to the right. Again, that's the wide side of the field this time. Jaron Kalama, the lone receiver, on the short side of the field. There's your snap. Handoff to Kalama, who's running straight up the middle. Lowers the shoulder and runs over a Provo defender into the end zone. He's not going down there. Anyone that gets in his way is going down. Celia Kana into the end zone for a touchdown, Wasatch. And that is just a man's run, Tyler. Straight up the middle, no doubt. Run over anyone that gets in your way. And Wasatch is an extra point away from tying this one up.
Yeah, a little adjustment from Wasatch is up front. They've been running inside zone. They're a zone run team. That time kind of a man blocking where you just, these guys block to the right, these guys block to the left, create a hole, and let Sealy run hard through it. Extra point up and good. We got ourselves a tie ball game, 20-20 with 1:27 to play, third quarter.
What if I had something that it would actually help you with getting exactly what you want? I have a 6-step process that I've used every day at my job that have helped people get exactly what they want. We need to ask a few questions. If you make the time for this process, I promise you, you will have those things that you exactly want. And I want to show that to you.
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasp Sports.
Napa know-how.
It's game time! Let's do it! Ready? The Wasatch Wasps are swarming on 94.5 The Peak. Now let's get back to the action with Ty and Ty.
That's a good possession. It results in a 55-yard touchdown drive. Rouser's kick is short back to Provo and will be returnable. Caught at the 10-yard line. Cut down pretty quickly, though, by Josh Saunders at the 25. Goes Harward, and that's where the Bulldogs will take over. Tyler, the 55-yard drive ended up being a 60-yard drive after a penalty, and Chris Cook capped about 30 of it receiving, chipped in another 10 or so rushing, and then Edwards put down another 10, and then Akana finishes off with a powerful 10-yard drive into the end zone, running over any defender that got in his way.
And Ty, what I like about this second half is Provo has tried to come out running the ball against Wasatch, and Wasatch just has not had any of it. And then on that drive, yes, you have the screen, but other than that, Wasatch said, you know what, we're bigger than you, we're more physical, and we're going to take it to you physically.
Provo brings out their offense in a tight power I formation under center, and they'll go with a handoff to Harward. He's got a little space out to the 30. Gabler stands him up, and Wasatch comes in to finish it off.
I kind of like the play call here from Provo. Wasatch, again, without Tyler Carl in there to help, again, be the quarterback, make some adjustments to get this. You may be able to get a first down or two going a little power I formation.
That's a healthy chunk on first down. Under 1 minute to go in the third quarter. All tied up, 20-20 is the score. Provo has not seen the Wasatch side of the field in the second half. Wasatch has been winning the field position continually. There's another handoff to Harward. Akana pushing. His jersey is stretched about 3 feet, and I see no flag on the field for a hold. They are going to make the tackle about a yard shy of the sticks.
So you got on that possession or on that play, Tyler, 2 tight ends to the left, 1 tight end to the right, 2 backs in the backfield. So a double tight end set. Wasatch is going to sub a lot of people in and out here.
Jumbo is what they're all offensive linemen coming in.
Sawyer
Cole
Johansson,
Magnuson, Brady Harding, Jackson Morden.
Scott Gabler has to come out of the game, Tyler. Sawyer Johansson, a sophomore, into the game for the first time.
Handoff to Havea. He's hit and pushes across the 35. Back to the 34, cut down, but his forward progress will give Provo a first down marker. Gabler seeing that right arm being tended to. See if he's able to re-enter.
Yeah, looks like bicep or maybe elbow a little bit, but a young linebacking core in there right now. Sawyer Johansson and Colby Clough. The end of the quarter comes at a good time. 20-20 going into the fourth quarter. Wasatch Provo will have your fourth quarter here on 94.5 The Peak.
Welsh wants to go deep to start the fourth quarter. In and out of the hands of his receiver. Actually, River Wardle was up there to disrupt that one. Went for the interception. Didn't quite get it, and Magleby had a chance to haul it in, but he's not able to. Hits his hands and goes to the turf.
Yeah, kind of an interesting play there where it looked like River had a chance, but also Magleby had a chance, and he had a little bit of a step. He wasn't a scorer. Jaron Kalama was coming over the top a little bit late. Pretty good ball there from Welsh again, as that ball was right where it needed to be. Ends up an incomplete pass, and we have 2nd and 10.
Risto checks in for Wardle. Kobe McPhee and Risto in coverage on the left side. Welsh looking right side, though. The pass is up and complete. La Kalama tries to push him down rather than wrapping him up, and it's not wise as the tackle is not made, and the receiver's able to dive forward for a few extra yards. Pickup of 6, 3rd and 4, as Wasatch is able to get some help on the tackle for Law.
Scott Gabler does come back into the game for Sawyer Johansson. Colby Clough also into the game at the linebacker position. Again, Tyler Carl not playing tonight. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
Provo still has not seen the other side of midfield in this second half, but they're flirting with it right now. Ball at the 42-yard line. There's your snap. Welsh is going to run it all the way. Left side, first down, across midfield, and he's got a breakaway. Can Kalama catch him? He does. Jaron Kalama cuts him down to the 15-yard line. You see some breakaway speed there from Welsh, but Kalama had just enough to hang on to him. But the Bulldogs are into Wasatch territory and into the CarQuest Auto Parts red zone.
Man, frustrating there. And Provo's done a good job of running that play just enough to keep Wasatch off guard. And once again, Wasatch doesn't read the double pulling lineman to the left. He's able to create the seam, and he's got good speed. Kalama able to run him down inside the CarQuest Auto red zone.
10:51 on the clock. Provo in Wasatch territory for the first time. Harward in the backfield with Welsh. There's your snap handoff to Harward, just running right up the middle, and Braxton Turner says no way. Cuts him down at the line of scrimmage. Celia Kana came in to finish it off, but that was Turner in there originally to bring down Harward.
Provo's kicking game's been good today, 2 for 2 on the field goals. Wasatch's 20 points coming on 3 touchdowns and 1 blocked extra point. Meanwhile, Provo has 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. Brings up 2nd and 10, trips to the wide side of the field. Wasatch going 1 high safety with Jaron Kalama to the wide side of the field. Gilman to the left.
Same formation for Provo. It's a quarterback run all the way. Welsh is wrapped up but not taken down, but Braxton Turner comes over to cut him down for good at the 14-yard line.
Good job from Brecken Bowen that time of taking on the 2 pulling linemen. Was able to slow up the quarterback. Didn't make the play, but allowed time for the other defenders for Wasatch to come and finish the play.
3rd and 7. Wasatch trying to draw some energy from the sideline with
both
no
teams
fans there to support them. All players are inside the 30-yard line. Inside, so they're between the 5 and the 30 down here for this play. Packed down on this side of the field. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Welsh in the backfield, 3rd and 7. There's your snap. Welsh looking left. It's a swing pass out there, complete to Harward, but it's deep, and he's driven out of bounds hard, and he's going to actually lose a couple out near the 18-yard line. Wasatch holds on 3rd down, and Provo has a decision. Long field goal, about 35 or 36 yards, or do they go for it here? 4th down is the signal.
I'd take the points.
Welsh over there on the sideline talking to his coach.
Same play that in that last play was with the touchdown that they had to start. And Jaron Kalama came up with a big hit, Ty, and he is hanging on that left arm of his. Not coming out of the game, but I can tell that he's hurting. It was a big collision over on that sideline.
Provo's going to attempt the field goal, but they were a little delayed on the decision, so they have to rush a little bit. So does the official, sprinting to the goalpost. 5 on the clock. There's the snap. It's good, but the kick looks left, and that was rushed from the beginning, Tyler. Provo took too long to make the decision, and the field goal is no good. Had enough leg, but it just got a little too quick, and they had time. They didn't have to snap it right then. The play clock was down to 5 seconds, but they could have taken a deep breath. Instead, they rushed it and missed the field goal, and Wasatch holds and avoids the threat there from Provo, which took him inside the red zone.
Yeah, good job from the Wasatch defense and not panicking after giving up that long run to Welsh. And it came down to the defensive tackles. Ty Braxton Turner and Brecken Bowen came up with 2 big plays that forced him into that 3rd and long. And then Jaron Kalama did a good job of cleaning up the swing pass to the running back that went to the house earlier in the game. Forces the field goal, and then the field goal is the first missed field goal of the game for Provo. Wasatch scored on their last possession. Let's see what they can do with it, starting at their own 20.
Cooper Scott, inside receiver right now. Riley Risto, wide side on the left. So, thank you. Spencer Risto, and then Josh Saunders, middle receiver. But they'll start with a handoff to Cook, who shifts left, shifts right, shifts back left again, and just shimmies forward for about 9 yards. And that was nothing hard. He just kind of shifted back and forth all the way forward for 9, Ty.
Seems like he's just running with more confidence today, Ty. And it's been patient running. Hasn't been as much of running guys over. And I liked it. I've liked how he's ran the ball today.
2nd and short. They're back to Chris, trying to stretch to the left. Brought down from the backside, though, and he's going to lose a yard.
Tyler, you mentioned this in one of the breaks. That it's been a couple of times now on 2nd and short, 3rd and short. The Wasatch has tried to stretch this defense out instead of going right up the middle. And on that time, they tried to bounce it outside again. And
not as much success. They've had a little luck out there, Ty, but it's just they've been a little more consistent pounding between the tackles there. 8:20 on the clock, 3rd and 2. There's your snap. RPO. Cook is going right up the middle, and he's got it easily this time, Ty, out to the 35 And that's kind of what you were talking about there that we were alluding to. They're just big and physical up front, and it seems like they can get those 2 or 3.
I agree.
Relative ease.
I think they can average 5 to 10 yards a carry just running it between the tackles with Chris or with Seeley.
There's your snap on 1st and 10. Stretching left. Chris breaks the first tackle, but can't get much more after that. Dives forward for 2 to the 37-yard line. It's a tight one for Wasatch. Haven't been in a lot of close games this season. Spanish Fork, the only other really tight one that they've had. They did come away with the win there in that one. 2nd and 7, 3 receivers right. Hand off to Seeley, who's checked in, makes a cut, plants, he's across the 45, dives forward to the 50. Seeley giving Chris a spell, and it's a good one, has 13 yards on the run.
Tyler, it's nice when you take 3 steps and you've got 9 yards.
Yeah, he's got a big stride.
That's just the bottom line with that is he made just as many cuts as Chris, but his legs are so long.
There's your snap quickly again, and it's the same exact play. Seeley keeps his balance and is able to fall forward for 4 more yards after original contact. It's just a very athletic player out on the field. Most other players would have went down there on the first hit, but Seeley put his arm in the turf and was able to keep his balance.
I just love it. I love that Wasatch has said, you know what, we're just more physical than you are. Now 6 straight runs for Wasatch.
Now they're going to throw it, and off by a mile. Looks like a little miscommunication that was intended for Risto, and it really wasn't close. 3rd and 6. Jaron Kalamas checked back into the ball game. Left receiver, 3 receivers right. It's Gilman, Scott, and Nelson over there. Seeley Akana in the backfield. Wasatch into Provo territory. Handoff to Akana. Makes the first man miss. Plants. He's got a first down. Plants again. Across for about 10 yards. Down to the 36-yard line of Provo goes Seeley Akana. Vision there on that play, Tyler. The hole wasn't there originally, but Seeley made there be a hole as he planted and made a cut. 1st and 10. Handoff to Seeley again. This time he breaks another tackle 3 yards in the backfield and falls forward for a gain of 2, but that really should have been a loss for Wasatch.
Well, and I'd like to see Wasatch maybe run a zone read or something like that off of this. They're starting to really pinch hard inside with the defensive ends. Maybe let AD give a fake and then keep it on the outside edge.
2nd and 8. High snap. AD does that RPO just like you say. Tyler keeps it himself. Dives forward across the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Give him a pickup of 7. Should bring up about 3rd and 2, maybe 3rd and 3. And we've got an injury timeout on the field. The Bulldog is down and injured. That'll help Provo catch their breath. Bulldog is up, limping off the field.
That last touchdown for the Wasps was brought to you by Edward Jones. Just like in sports, in order to be successful in life, you need, or in investments, you need to be able to make adjustments. You need to be able to make adjustments in life as well, especially in nowadays. But to win in sports, you must focus on your strategy as the game changes. The same is true for investments. Jared Jensen, your Edward Jones financial advisor, can help. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Chris powers forward on 3rd and short, Tyler. The spot is close, and they're going to say he's short. Gain of 2. Got about 4th and a half a yard for Wasatch. Their offense stays on the field. Really no doubt about this here. It's Chris in the backfield. There's your snap. A handoff to Chris. Easily has it. He's across the 30, down across the 20. Cuts down inside the 15 and dives forward. Not just a first down, but a big gain. Give him about 15 on the carry. Wasatch into the CarQuest Auto Parts red zone at the 11-yard line.
Yep, and that's right there, Tyler. So they go with zone read on that play, and that's a play that I think Darius Edwards can keep. And as well, Tyler, they can go bubble screen maybe on that outside. They're only got about 2 or 3 guys on the outside. Maybe go bubble screen here as well.
The zone read doesn't go for much, Ty. Give him 2 yards, maybe 1 on the gain.
Chris Cook
onto the field now.
Does reach the century mark for the 3rd straight game.
Hand off to Seeley. He breaks 1 tackle, can't break the second. Is brought down to the turf by Havea. And another Provo Bulldog is down injured.
Tackled by number 4, Dallin Havea.
Havea is not afraid to do a little bit of talking after he's in any play at all. Timeout on the field, taken for entry. We'll go ahead and take it, too. Big 3rd down coming for Wasatch. It's 3rd and 4 after we come back from break.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Bank Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Bank Flooring and Paint.
It's game time! Let's do it! Ready? Wasatch High School Sports on the radio with Ty and Ty on 94.5 The Beat.
We're back here in the fourth quarter of action. This one's been a good one here, Tyler. 20-20 is the score as we take a Dorius Dental scoreboard update. Wasatch is driving. They're approaching 4 minutes on this drive. The ball is at the 5-yard line of Provo. They need the 1-yard line for a first down. Regardless, they are in field goal range and have an opportunity to take the lead back from Provo right now.
I think Wasatch
right down to the wire.
I think Wasatch can go right back to that power run that they've been running with Seeley, or wouldn't be surprised for them to go option to the outside.
I like just the way Provo's lining up here. You may be able to find a little inside route for Jake Gilman. Seeley Akana, the running back, Gilman the inside receiver, and Wasatch moves early, and it looked like they were running, Tyler. That was a fire off the ball there by Hagen Brisk.
So now that makes it difficult, Ty. You got 3rd and 10 now. Wasatch can get the first down at what looks like to be maybe the 3-inch line. But it will be basically 3rd and goal from the 10. Wasatch looking to the sideline. Coach Roberts waiting to call it. They're down to 18 seconds on the play clock.
That one, Tyler, they were going to Seeley to let him power that one in from 5.
Wasatch is going to go moose return with Tyler on this one. So a couple of inside routes and then Seeley Khan isolated on the outside.
Edwards calls for the snap. There it is. He's rolling left. Provo bringing some pressure. Edwards gets rid of it. To Kalama, complete, but shy of the first down marker.
Cooper
and shy
Scott.
of the goal line. Excuse me, Cooper Scott. So now you got a decision, and it's no decision at all. Coach Coburn trots Southam onto the field quickly to try to take the lead here.
Cooper Scott's played a good game, Tyler. The receiver position has a touchdown, made a couple of diving catches.
Should be a chip shot on this field goal, but Wasatch has had an extra point blocked from the same distance. It's going to be a 21-yarder. There's the snap is good. The hold's good. The kick is up, and we've got a pretty decent angle here on that. That looks good, and it is good. Wasatch takes the lead back from Provo, 23-20. And now they'll turn it back over to the defense to hold, which they have done very well in the second half.
The Dairy King, home of the train, is safely open for business. The dining area is open with sanitizing stations. The staff is wearing masks, easy curbside, and their convenient drive-thru. Dairy King offers a complete menu of burgers, seasonal shakes like peach, raspberry, and peach cobbler, along with the best gluten-free menu in town. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 73 years. The Dairy King, the train, is serving deliciousness daily.
If you ever gave your wife an impact wrench for her birthday, then CarQuest Auto Parts is for you. If you taught your kids how to change engine oil before you taught them how to ride a bike, then CarQuest is for you. CarQuest is for those who really know and care about their car. CarQuest is serious auto parts.
CarQuest Auto Parts is independently owned and operated, proudly serving Heber City at 434 North Main and Camas at 235 South Main. Roll into CarQuest Auto Parts and roll on.
Want to remind you to stick around for our physical at the Fit Stop post-game show as Wasatch has retaken the lead 23-20 with 4:04 to play in the ball game. We'll have your coach's interview along with your Gordon Law Group stat check, and we'll give away our Ties trophies.
Sure have a good game here. Aiden Rouser has a low-line drive that hits the pylon, and it will be a touchback. Stays right inside. Aiden, holding his helmet, thought it was a penalty, but it's good. It's good, Aiden. That one hit the pylon, and it's going to be a touchback. He was devastated, and he doesn't need to be. Great kick there. We'll put the Bulldogs out to the 20-yard line.
Tyler, is it fall?
It got cold, didn't it?
I've been wearing shorts at all these games, and I'm a little bit cold.
Well, with 4:04 left, Wasatch is taking a 23-20 lead over Provo. It's been a fun one. Back and forth we've gone.
Hey, Tyler, it's Provo. We're down by the lake. So there's bugs and it's cold.
I've noticed the bugs, Craig. I'm with you on that one. They've been flying all over. Got no other fans to feast on down here right now. 4:04, motion from Harward up. There's your snap. Welsh wants to throw the right. It's again dropped by Magleby. Seeley hits. I thought that was a quarterback flying afterwards, so I thought we'd have a penalty flag coming in. No penalty, but Magleby drops again a pass that hits him right in the hands. That's the third time tonight he has dropped a pass right there.
Well, it's amazing because he's made great catches as well. You know, he's made the great catch over the top of River Wardle in the first half that set up the go-ahead score before the break, but yet, yeah, he's had some inconsistencies. Looking down at his hands, talking to him, I think that's going to help.
2nd and 10, 4:01 on the clock in the fourth quarter. There's your snap to Welsh, throwing left this time. Batted down by Risto. Great play from Risto coming up to bat that thing away. He read that the entire way, shot up on it. That is Risto, right? Or is that Cooper Scott?
No, that's Spencer Risto over there. Great play by Spencer Risto. And you know what I've been impressed with Spencer Risto, Ty, is he's getting less time than what he thought he was going to get this year. But when he gets in, he makes plays like that. We've seen him make big catches. We've seen him make plays on the defensive end. No hanging the head, just goes out and makes plays.
3rd and 10 for Wasatch. For Provo, the ball at the 20-yard line. Welsh sets and calls for the snap. Looks right, now left. Flushed out, but there's Bowen. And Bowen runs him right into Turner, who brings him down. Braxton Turner gets the sack, and Wasatch goes 3 and out against the Bulldogs. 3:45 on the clock, and Provo will have to kick it
Provo
away.
tried to block Braxton Turner with 3 guys on that play. The center, the right guard, and the running back all tried to block Braxton Turner on that play, and he went through all 3 of them in order to get that sack.
And he just kept working, Tyler, because Welsh tried to roll out to the right, and Bowen turned him back into Turner, and Turner brought him down. The Bulldogs are going for it here.
You know a player has gone his hardest, Ty, when his white jersey looks a little bit grayer than everybody else on the field.
So on 4th and 12 with 3 minutes left, the Bulldogs are going for it. Welsh rolling right, looking for his man down the field, throws it up. Oh, it's complete. Who had that? Right in the hands. La Kalama had a chance to come down with the pick, but instead Provo's got a catch, and I think they've got the first, Tyler. They're right at the sticks.
It'll depend. They're going to give him a first down, and Tyler, that's just a tough break. And Wasatch can complain all they want about the spot. The fact is, Wasatch had 3 guys there that could have come up with that ball, and instead they let Magleby come up with the catch.
Went for the interception, and it cost them dearly there. All you need to do is bat that ball away. It's at the 20. We've seen this before where Wasatch has gotten too invested in the officials. It ends up costing them dearly. They need to get emotionally in check right now. There's your snap. Bowen coming hard. He's in the backfield. They're going to bring him down. Drop down at the 15-yard line. The ball came loose as Wasatch. They do. Wasatch has it on the fumble recovery. There's the big turnover from Bowen, who gets in the backfield and brings him down. What a huge turn of events. With 2:56 left, the Wasps create a turnover and are in business to salt this one away.
Mason Hume comes up with the fumble recovery, but you're right, Tyler. Brecken Bowen comes off the edge, gets in there. Celia Khan able to clean him up, and then Mason Hume gets the fumble recovery.
Another injured Provo player on the field, but Wasatch, after the devastating 4th down conversion on 4th and 12, they come up with a huge fumble and a sack on 1st down, and they recover. Stay with us when we come back. Wasatch leads 23-20, 2:56 on the clock. Wasatch ball when we're back from break.
Bluths at Physical at the Fit Stop have been providing physical therapy to the Heber Valley for over 45 years. During this time is no exception. They are currently seeing patients in their clinic, following all local and federal health guidelines. In addition, they're excited to now be offering telehealth visits. If you've needed PT during COVID-19, they can help. Call the office today to schedule an appointment. Physical at the Fit Stop, 435-654-5607. Spelled different because they are different.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist. At Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
What if I had something that it would actually help you with getting exactly what you want? I have a 6-step process that I've used every day at my job that have helped people get exactly what they want. We need to ask a few questions. If you make the time for this process, I promise you, you will have those things that you exactly want. And I want to show that to you.
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice.
Football's back.
Football!
The Wasatch Wasps are swarming on 94.5 The Peak. Now let's get back to the action with Ty and Ty.
Big momentum shifting play. Wasatch has created 2 turnovers in the second half. Defense has held strong, hasn't given up any points so far in this half, and they create a turnover right before the break. And they have the ball at the 17-yard line of Provo. They'll start by handing off to Cook, who's running right, now cuts it back in the middle, keeps that clock moving, and is cut down after a pickup of 4 yards. Chris already over the 100-yard rushing mark. And more importantly than anything, keeps the clock moving.
Provo down to 1 timeout, so basically a first down ends this thing, Ty. And they get a good, healthy chunk there at 4 yards.
Wasatch is going to take their time relaying in the play.
What's tough with the spread, though, Ty, is Provo can load the box and outnumber Wasatch in the box. And so I'll be curious to see if Wasatch stays on the ground or if they opt to throw against man-to-man coverage on the outside.
Cook takes another handoff, this same exact play running up the middle. And he'll have a couple more. 3rd and short, about 3 yards. It will be under 2 minutes when they snap. This should be around 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, so this is the first down that you need. Again, if you get the first down here, ball game over. Celia Khan is going to come in. Tyler, I think this is a good adjustment, get a good physical, bigger back in there. Chris Cook's been great up the middle, been physical. But like I said, Akana takes 2 steps. He's got the first down here.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. It's hard to see them going anywhere but to Akana here. There's your snap, handoff to Seeley. He makes the first man miss. Second man comes in and cuts him down right around the 10-yard line. That's where they had it. May not get it, and I don't think they got it, Tyler. Timeout taken by Provo. 4th and short for Wasatch with the decision when we come back.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City. Stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasp Sports.
Napa know-how.
This is football.
Wasatch High School Sports on the radio with Ty and Ty on 94.5 The Peak.
Well, decision time coming up. 4th and 1 is what Wasatch has. And, Tyler, do you kick the field goal or go for it?
I don't like giving the ball back to Provo at all. So even if you kick it, you give Provo a chance with the ball.
I agree. I like going for it here.
So if you
so
go for it,
even if you don't get it.
Yeah, I agree. So go get it. Rely on that offensive line and go get a first down here.
Ball's at the 9-yard line, so as long as Wasatch doesn't go backwards, it's at least 90 yards for the Bulldogs to get a go-ahead score in this one with less than 2 minutes
and no timeouts remaining, Ty.
Wasatch lines up with Seeley in the backfield. A handoff, running right to the right side. Seeley's got the first down, and does he have a touchdown? Diving for the pylon. He does! Touchdown, Seeley Akana, and that should do it. Wasatch takes a 9-point lead with the extra point pending. Seeley stretched it to the right and then planted his foot at the sideline and cut up the field hard, diving for the pylon, and he's got his 2nd rushing touchdown of the ballgame. And isn't that how it works? Chris Cook does all the damage on the ground, and Seeley converts as the bruiser with the 2 scores. Chris over 100 yards rushing, but Seeley with 2 rushing touchdowns for the Wasps this evening.
So can I play devil's advocate here, Ty? If you're Provo, you of course don't want to give up a touchdown, but you gave yourself a chance by allowing that touchdown, right?
Yeah, you just get a first down.
If you get a first down, the game's over because you take a knee. Now at least you can get, crazy things can happen. So it just makes this game a little bit more interesting the rest of the way. Of course, you're not going to tell somebody not to score a touchdown. But it is 30-20. Wasatch with 17 unanswered points here in the second half. Meanwhile, they have shut Provo out completely in the second half. It was a 20-13 game at halftime. Wasatch with 2 touchdowns and a field goal in the second half to take the 30-20 lead. And in my opinion, Ty, this is a sign of a good team. When you don't play your best, you have 3 starters defensively that are out, and you're still able to come up with a victory. That's a sign of a good team that's going to be able to go some places. Plus, Tyler, bye week next week coming at a perfect time, right? You give Tyler Carl, you give Riley Davis, and Peterson a chance to get healthy, let the COVID kind of stuff die down a little bit, and good timing right now, I think, for Wasatch to have a bye week.
Yeah, we'll see kind of how things unfold moving forward. As we've already talked about a couple times, 10 teams had to cancel games this week in Utah because of COVID-19 issues. Aiden Rouser's going to squib this one back to Provo. Fumbled at the 3, but plenty of time to pick it up. Harvard's out across the 10, pushing it near the 15, cut down at about the 17-yard line with 1:09 left. Wasatch leading by 10, so Provo needs a score and an onside kick. And a miracle to boot to have a chance in this one.
Another tackle by Peter Muslar on that play. Continues to be a stud on the kickoff team.
Provo onto the field. Going to be in an obvious passing situation, so Wasatch is back in prevent defense. Corners are 12 yards deep. Safeties are 20 yards deep. And that's an easy throw and catch there for about 7 yards, and Wasatch is going to give that up and let Provo chew the clock. Don't want to make it too easy, though, Tyler. If you're going to give up a score, you need them to take about 45 to a minute off the clock. Safeties are standing at the 40. The ball's at the 17-yard line.
Do bring the DBs up on this play with 2 high safeties.
Welsh throws incomplete this time, and that was good to bring those DBs up. Not a lot of space, and they were playing that quick out. But Wasatch should cut that off.
They're going to call a pass interference, Tyler, call on Scott Gabler. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty and a first down.
Those at home, you might have heard Coach Coburn disagreeing with that call. I heard it about like he was sitting here next to me. Big penalty, though, down to the 38-yard line.
And again, Tyler, you only need, you go down and kick a field goal, right? Because then you have a chance to get the touchdown. You got to have a touchdown and a field goal.
La Calama off by about 13 yards at the corner position. Wells looks right, flushed to the right. Bowen is going to take him down with Gabler.
No, Mason
Hume. Hume and Bowen have been doing some damage here in the fourth quarter.
Well, Braxton Turner's right back there as well. And when you have, again, 2 to 3 guys trying to block Turner, Brecken Bowen and Mason Hume can have some fun on the edge.
Clock continues to wind on the sack, 2nd and 20, and this is looking very good for Wasatch right now.
That'll do it, Ty. That sack, I think, does it. They'll play one more play here probably.
Welsh throws out complete and out of bounds. Pick up about 9 yards. Still brings up 3rd and long. The clock will stop. But again, they need 2 scores, and you're right, Tyler. This one looks to be out of reach for Provo. A couple other good games in Region 8 right now. Just looking at some scores, Maple Mountain has scored late in the 4th and gotten a conversion to tie it up at 37 against Spanish Fork. That one coming right down to the wire.
Any news on if Kyson Hall was back playing this week for Maple?
I haven't seen that one yet, Ty. 3rd and 15. Welsh looking down the middle for a seam, intercepted by Celia Kana. He's at the 40. He's going to be tackled down there at the 34-yard line. So Celia Kana will add to his 2 rushing scores and the interception to go with it. And Mr. Do-It-All for Wasatch puts a defensive stat on the board there. 20 seconds remain, and all Wasatch will need to do is take a knee here.
Yeah, again, hats off to this Wasatch team. It wasn't pretty, especially after last week's game against Maple Mountain. You thought they'd come in here and kind of make it, get an easy win against Provo. Hats off to Provo, good physical team, very well coached. And Wasatch had to fight for this one, but they make some adjustments, overcome some adversity, and are able to get it done.
Offense comes out onto the field for victory formation. 1-0, and this feels good. Provo's gotten the best of Wasatch the last couple years. Being able to come down here and get them back on their home field on the Provo homecoming night. Should be a good one for Wasatch. There's the kneel from Edwards, and the Wasps move to 6-1 on the season, 3-0 in Region 8. Got some tough games ahead to end, though. Springville in 2 weeks. Salem Hills, the one after that, in what likely will be a showdown for the region title, right? The pace we're going right now, if Salem gets a win tonight, no matter what happens moving forward, that would at least be for a share of the region title with these two teams, even if Wasatch were to fall in the game before against Springville. So Wasatch has set themselves up nicely. We'll talk a little bit more about it on your Physical at the Fit Stop postgame show, which is coming up right after the break.
On the back of your running backs, Chris Cook and Celia Kana, who's becoming a running back the last couple of weeks. Tonight, Tyler combined for 200 rushing yards. They had 42 rushes for 200 yards. As we jump into a little Gordon Law stack check, your Gordon Law Group, your local law firm practicing in all areas of the law, they take pride in saying, yeah, we do that. And for me, that's the stat of the night, Ty, 200 yards. You knew Provo was going to come out and try to take away Kalam and take away the pass. And Wasatch had to just buckle down in that fourth quarter and say, we're going to beat you up front. And that's what they did. Again, 200 rushing yards. Chris Cook, third straight game of rushing over 100 yards. He's quietly having a really good year, Tyler, as a sophomore. The last time that we had a sophomore rush for 3 straight 100-yard games, I can't think of the last time that happened. And so he's having himself a good season. And unfortunately, he was the workhorse, and then Celia kind of comes in and gets the praise because he had 2 touchdowns tonight, rushing for 60 yards. But when you're averaging 5 yards a pop on the ground, you're going to love it. Like, as an offensive coordinator and as an offensive line coach, you love rushing for that many yards. Passing game was still there. It was 18 of 31 for 181 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception for Darius Edwards. Receiving wise, Kalam ends up with 66, and then so Tyler, Chris Cook rushed for 122, and then he had 51 passing yards as well, so over 170 all-purpose yards for Chris Cook. Cooper Scott had a good night, 4 catches for 35 yards. Jackson Nelson 2 for 14, and then Spencer Risto with a catch as well. And then give hats off to Provo. They played another good physical game, ends up losing it in the second half. And I think we'll talk to Coach Coburn, and he's going to talk about the depth again, right? You have Wasatch's guys that are able to platoon a little bit more than Provo, and Wasatch was simply able to just wear down that Provo team in the second half.
Yeah, Tyler, and this Provo team, I think you and I would both agree, better than a 2-4 record indicates. They've got some skill over here, and they just have a little growth to do in order to be able to put it all together, but it's a team that can knock off a few other teams here at the end of the season.
I agree, Tyler. A neat moment here after the game that I wanted to mention real quick. All of the players came and took a knee along the 8-yard line. Again, in honor of Caden Baxter, who was tragically killed in a car accident 2 nights ago. And cool to see the kids, again, continue to recognize Caden Baxter, knelt down, said a prayer there on the 8-yard line, now taking a picture on the 8-yard line as well. Just some neat moments, Tyler, and in my opinion, it's what makes sports kind of fun, is when you have that brotherhood and the ability to recognize and have a family-type feel on the field after a game like that.
And led by Captain Jake Gilman, leading the way there with that whole thing, and this is a fun team to watch. Tyler, we'll see how it comes together here. 2 weeks off now as they have a bye week in between this game and Springville, and that's a good one, as you pointed out. Get healthy, also give you a chance to look a little bit more closely at Springville, who's kind of been the kryptonite for Wasatch. They got them last year, but that's been a tough one over the last decade for the Wasps as they've squared off against the Red Devils, and we'll see if the extra week can help Wasatch to be able to game plan and be ready for them there. Wasatch wins tonight 30-20, moves to 6-1 on the season and 3-0 in Region 8. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll have our coaches interview with head coach Steve Coburn. Wasatch wins 30-20 over Provo.
This is football. Football! Let's play, fellas!
Now, back to the action for more Wasatch Wasp Sports with Tyler Moss and Tyler Baird on 94.5 The Peak.
Wasatch gets the victory 30-20 here at Provo High School to once again improve to 6-1 on the season. And we'll see what their RPI does with a win over a losing record. Sometimes that can affect teams negatively with that.
And honestly, it probably will for Wasatch.
A little bit.
They may drop down a little bit.
Because Brighton and Skyline not playing, so they'll stay where they're at as well. Tyler, with all the festivities, with Wasatch paying tribute, a lot of players are emotional. They remember Caden Baxter and played with Caden Baxter. These seniors were freshmen when Caden Baxter was a senior, so Coach Coburn staying. Dan Opie just looked up here, and I think he's going to come up. He's asking if he's good, and we can hear him because there's nobody here, and so we can just have a conversation like this if we wanted to. So he's gonna hustle up. Ty, while he's coming up, why don't we give away our Ty's trophies now, if that's okay? And we're gonna start with our physical at the Fit Stop player of the game. And Tyler, for me, it just was exactly what this is called, physical at the Fit Stop, and it was Chris Cook. I thought he was simply what Wasatch needed tonight in order to get the victory. Highly physical runner tonight, did it in the passing and catching as well. Chris Cook is our physical at the Fit Stop player of the game. 122 yards rushing, 50 yards receiving, over 170 all-purpose yards tonight for Chris Cook.
Yeah, easy call, Tyler. Easy call for Chris Cook, and he's actually going to be a contributor in our Good Spa Day play of the game. A Good Spa Day, your favorite hometown place to relax and unwind. We offer massage, skincare, nail care, and unique relaxing spa packages. Pick a Good Spa Day to be your spa, and it's that 30-yard screen pass to Chris after Wasatch had lost 5 yards, was kind of struggling to get momentum back in the second half, and he took it from the Wasatch 40 down to the Provo 30.
First down of the second half for Wasatch as well. They had gone a couple of 3-and-outs, really had a hard time getting things going, and then that screen pass is really what opened it up for the Wasps.
Yeah, Ty, he had a few really nifty, shifty plays, and Chris those are well-deserved awards for him. When we come back from this quick break, we'll have head coach Steve Coburn on the air with us. Stay with us. Wasatch wins 30-20 over Provo.
This is football.
Wasatch High School Sports on the radio with Ty and Ty on 94.5 The Peak.
Welcome back to 94.5 The Peak. Wasatch wins at Provo High School 30-20. They improved their record to 6-1 on the season, 3-0 in Region 8 play, in a prime position to compete for that Region 8 title and a great playoff spot heading into the state tournament. We're joined now by head coach Steve Coburn. And, Coach, congratulations on the win. It was apparent looking down at the field afterwards, for understandable reasons, that this was more than just a regular win for a lot of these players out there tonight. If you wouldn't mind, just speak a little bit to the emotions that we're seeing after the field and how the players are doing.
Yeah, it's it was an exciting win to come back from a deficit and come back and win the way we did, and defense stepped it up and flexed their muscles, and the offense was able to come out and finish it off. We tried not to address too much before the game, the issues that we were dealing with, but as soon as the game was over, as soon as we took that last knee, they all started coming towards me with tears in their eyes. And that's, as we said, we always have our prayer in the end zone, but they did it on the 8-yard line today in remembrance of Caden. And so, it was emotional last 2 days. It's one of those things as a coach, how much do you address the loss that we've had and address the focus of going out and beating a good team like Provo High School. And so, I tried to play it off as much as I could, let the kids have their time, and then after the game we all let it out, and we all were in tears down on the field.
I said before the game, Coach, that there's a lot of players. Well, I said it. The toughest she coached with you was Caden's junior year, when we had to make that tough decision of who to play at quarterback, and the way that Caden responded and went out, 88 tackles that year, 9 tackles for loss. I mean, he was just a stellar player on the defensive end for the team. Tonight, Coach Jake Gilman, who gave up the quarterback position when AD moved in, gets a big interception in the second half. Right. Spencer Risto, who hasn't seen the field as much as he probably wanted to, comes in and makes a big defensive breakup. You have kind of the spirit of Caden, if you will, of players stepping up, and just talk a little bit about that. Once again tonight, Kalama, they were focusing on him. He wasn't able to have the big game. AD's not able to throw the ball around like he did last week, and so you saw other guys step up, and you had to win in a little bit different way than you're used to. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking to him down here. This is a special group of guys, and back when we had to make that decision, Caden just went over to the defense. Is okay, and we had several conversations. It just didn't happen, right? You had conversations, I had conversations with him, and hey, what's best for the team is for you now to go be a great defensive player, and that's what he did. And that's the conversation I had with Jake. It's a conversation I've had with Spencer. And you look at times we have to talk about Cooper Scott. Continue to battle and make plays for us, and it's just the heart of who these kids are and what they want to play for, and they believe in the culture that we're building here, and that's the team and what I can do to help the team be successful.
Coach, you improved to 3-0 in Region 8 play. You now have an off week, a bye before you take on Springville, and it seems like the off week's actually coming at a pretty good time. You had 3 defensive starters that were out in this game: Tyler Carl, Riley Davis, Mason Peterson.
Right.
Talk a little bit, if you wouldn't mind, about the injury status and if you expect them to be back for Springville or if these are prolonged injuries that we're looking at.
Mason was a strained MCL, and he was looking pretty good this week. Not ready to play today, but pretty good this week, and I think he'll be ready to go on in 2 weeks against Springville. Tyler is a sprained or separated AC at grade 2. That takes some time to heal. And we'll give him no contact again this week and limited contact the next week, and I think he'll be ready to go. Riley is a day-to-day thing with his knee, and he's doing a bunch of things. He's working. He's out of practice. He's coaching. He's doing things, and I don't know if he'll be ready to go or not. Which just when you get a 6'3" guy standing on the sideline. But I think the other 2 will be ready to go for Springville, and we're giving them tomorrow off. Coaches will meet, and then we'll see what our schedule's going to be like next week. We had a chance to go get games. There's still teams looking for games for next week, but we chose the way we came out of the Maple Mountain game, that physical game, to not go get a game, so that our kids have a chance to rest and be ready to go for that push with Springville and Salem Hills and into the playoffs.
Coach, talk to us. I'm going to shift gears, and we gave Chris Cook our player of the game tonight. 3rd straight game of 100 yards rushing. It's 100 yards to get for any running back, period, but got a sophomore who's rushed for 100 yards quietly, right? There's been so much focus on the pass game for Wasatch. Chris has rushed for 100 yards. As a team, he rushed for 200 yards tonight. Talk to us about Chris's involvement. I felt like he was a little bit more patient tonight, read the blocks really well, and really came up with some big plays to move the chains for you tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's just maturing. I look at him in the weight room, and we lift 2 to 3 times a week right now, depending on what their classroom schedule is. And I saw him over there doing some rows and stuff, and looked at his legs and just saw, like, holy crap, look at the size of those legs. And that's, he's built himself into that, and he's maturing and understanding how to read the zone play, protection-wise, doing a great job of catching the ball out of the backfield. And so his maturation physically, because we were worried about that going in. Okay, we don't want to bring that sophomore up and he gets whacked the first game, and then all of a sudden he's gun shy. Chris hasn't backed down from anybody, and he's understanding the protection, he's understanding the schemes, and he's a dual threat. As a defensive coordinator, you get a back that can catch the ball. That's hard to defend, because now you got 5 guys to defend. And the last 2 weeks, right? Harward's tough out of the backfield, and the kid last week from Maple Mountain is tough defensively. So Chris has really added another dimension, because they're sagging off covering the deep stuff, and now we got Chris underneath.
He was the second leading receiver tonight as well for you, with
awesome.
over 50 yards receiving. So love to see that as well.
That's right.
Coach, I'm curious. You didn't give up a single point in the second half. First downs were hard to come by for Provo as well. Can you give us a little sneak peek as to the halftime speech? What was so motivating there to get these guys back on the
Let me see if my wife's listening. Laurel, are you listening?
Well, most everyone could hear you. Well, just so you know, without the fans, they may have heard a couple of things tonight, Coach.
Coach Freddie says if it's in the Bible, it's okay to say. I just challenged him to win the one-on-one. And we went in there, and we weren't winning the one-on-one. Offensive line wasn't winning one-on-ones. The receivers weren't winning one-on-ones. AD wasn't winning the one-on-one with his reads and stuff. And so our challenge was, obviously there's a whole bunch of coaching going on, right? You got the offensive coaches coaching their guys, defensive guys coaching their guys. Then I get 30 seconds at the end to bring it, kind of tie it all back together and say, okay, let's talk about team. And all I said, we got to go out and win the one-on-one. Defense is going to go out and get a stop. Offense is going to go down and score. Didn't quite happen that fast, but the defense did their part. Offense finally got theirs going, and we started winning on the one-on-ones. I looked at Jackson Morton, who was getting beat in the first half, and he was coming out and licking those guys in the second half. And it's just, it's just the attitude of, okay, I'm going to go do this now. And we had a lot of things to overcome this week, and so I think finally the second half they took it to heart and said, okay, let's go get it done now.
Well, we could talk about Braxton Turner every single week.
Yes.
And numerous plays, Coach, he's taking on 3 guys.
Yes.
And winning. So when you talk about winning the one-on-one,
yes.
and we called Mason Hume, we called Brecken Bowen a lot that second half,
right.
But a lot of that's because Braxton's getting 2 and 3
right.
blockers and just continue. And it seemed like he had to play more downs tonight with Mason out and
right.
with Tyler Carl out. You needed
right.
him in there more, and it seemed like he came in and gave a big boost in the second half as well.
He came to me on the second or third series in the second half on the sideline and says, do not take me out.
do not let Coach Freddie take me out. So I went to Coach Freddie because he has a rotation. He likes to work the middle of the field to rest the big guys, then he puts the guys back in. And our young guys are getting playing time and so forth. But he came to me, directly off the field, right to me. Do not let him take me out. I'm finishing the game. So I went over to Coach Freddie. Do not take Braxton out. So then, that one long drive, we didn't score on it. I maybe got the field goal on it. Braxton was sucking it up pretty heavy out there on offense, physically, breathing. So during the timeout, I brought him over. I says, you're going to get a rest on defense. You told me you wanted to stay in, so you suck it up out there and get after it. And he just looked at me, yes, sir. And then on defense, he's as good a defensive players in this region.
I agree.
It looks unstoppable.
He is.
There's no one that's lined up against him that looks like they can get him.
No.
Coach, congratulations on the big win. We'll go ahead and get you out of here. Wasatch moves to 6-1, 3-0 in region play. They're off now next week. And then you have the Red Devils next week down at Springville. So congratulations,
Thank
Coach.
you.
Wasatch wins 30-20. We'll wrap it up when we come back. This has been your Physical at the Fit Stop post-game show. Wasatch wins 30-20 over Provo. Tyler, fun to talk to Coach Coburn and see this Wasatch team who has a chance to do something special this year. We're going to wrap it up here. Back on the air early tomorrow, 8 a.m. We'll have your Wasatch recap show and try to get you caught up a little bit on the happenings of Wasatch High School athletics, the updated football RPI, and much more.
Yeah, Cole Magnuson coming on the air with us tomorrow, one of the senior linemen for Wasatch High School coming on the air. So definitely tune in.
Thanks for joining us for Football Friday on 94.5 The Peak, your sports leader. Listen next week for more exciting Wasatch High School football action on KTMP The Peak.